Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Michael B. with friends. And tonight we're here to talk about whatever the hell Arcade1Up thinks they're doing right now with this new Deluxe NBA Jam that they've released. No intro, nothing tonight. We're getting right into it because this is going to be a conversation here, friends. It's going to be a conversation. So first off, I know P-Dubs, you did a video. Justin, you did a video. I never got a chance to see Fox if you did a video or James if you did a video yet. Did you?
I did a quick one.
Quick one.
Too cool to make videos on.
Way too cool.
Way too cool.
Yeah. No, just been too busy.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask each of you your thoughts on the new NBA Jam Deluxe 2-player, which let me just bring up on screen with this new
Wait, hold on. 2-player. We got to give this a name. Like, is this the jam or the junior?
This is the two jam slam.
Let's talk about it a little bit more before we give it a name.
This will end with a mockery name, right?
It is the Casino Jam.
It's the Casino Jam.
I like that. That's the one to beat.
Yeah,
Casino Jam.
All right. So first off, P-Dubs, what do you think of the NBA Jam Deluxe 2-player arcade machine?
I don't want to go first.
James, what do you think of the NBA Jam Deluxe 2-player arcade machine?
Oh, wow. It's not great. I think it's good that some people in the community get their 2-player that they've been begging for, but this looks like it's just going to fall over and kill somebody.
Possibly. All right. So 19K Fox, your quick thoughts.
They just can't quite stick the landing. They give us one thing we want and 18 things we hate.
Yep. 2 steps forward and 2 steps back.
Opposites attract.
Justin, console kits, my man with the bokeh.
Yeah. So, okay, it's not a good move by Arcade1Up to model the Casinocade after a title like NBA Jam. Don't like it. Although I did hear one person say one thing that I think is good. Like it's a good perspective. If you have already bought an NBA Jam, you can afford the space. You can afford the 4-player control. If you can't, then you need a tiny one. So they're like, here's the tinier version. It's an interesting point. So maybe there's room in the market for a tinier version of a 17-inch monitor.
P-Dubs, I'm going to zoom in just for you so you can see with your poor eyesight.
Thank you.
So I've zoomed in. What are your thoughts on the NBA Jam Deluxe 2-player?
Well, I'm a little sad that this product announcement got delayed. This was actually supposed to be announced a few weeks ago. However, David McIntosh was in the office near the prototype. He passed gas. It fell over, and they had to order a whole new prototype from China, and it took a little while for it to get through. It took a little while for it to get through customs, but now that it's here. Here's the Arcade1Up announcement we've all been waiting for. The Arcade1Up NBA Casino Jam.
So I think 100% one of the reasons they came out with this model is they don't support the community, the third-party community, because if you look at the bottom here, I mean, how in God's name is a company like Buy Stuff Store supposed to make a riser for that shit? They're trying to take down third-party companies.
Winning.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, really quickly, I do want to say I think that a lot of community feedback went to Arcade1Up about this 2-player deck. So let me just bring that up. This deck right here, I think this is a good thing. I think that this was a step in the right direction. So they were at a product meeting and someone said, yeah, the community really wants this 2-player deck. They can fit more cabs in. Everybody agreed to it. And then someone who absolutely has no business being at these fucking meetings said, oh, they want to save space. You know what would be another good idea? Let's make it less wide. Yeah, that'd be great. So people can fit more in the room. Let's give it the Casinocade bottom. And then for some reason, because there's nobody with any sense in the room, they all agreed. And henceforth, this is what we have.
This is what happens when Cornercade is in those boardroom discussions.
I gotta get in there, guys.
Correct me if I'm not wrong, but it's shorter too, right?
I don't know if it's shorter than the original NBA.
Nah, it's the same height, 61.
It's a
Same
couple-
height.
It was 63 inches.
Well, a couple inches
So-
is a big deal. You can just ask for nostalgia.
So for those of us who've been around a while, James, you haven't been around doing this stuff as long as we have, but for those of us who've been around a while, for years, people have said, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if they did a 2-player Jam, a 2-player Blitz, a 2-player Ninja Turtles, a 2-player X-Men? So the fact that it's finally happening, like, that's cool in my opinion. Like, hey man, at least it shows you when people say they're not listening, it sounds like they are listening, because their general audience, people in Walmart, aren't walking up, or Best Buy saying, oh man, I'd buy that if it was 2 players. No, that feedback comes from this community, right? So 2 players, in my opinion, was a great idea. But then they said, let's make this cabinet as skinny and as light as a feather. That's what worries me about this thing. It only weighs 60 pounds all in. And that's pretty much the same weight as the Casinocade. And how many of you out there have a Casinocade? Put a 1 in the chat. I have one. And the Casinocade, you can move it around your entire house with just the push of your index finger. Like, provided you're on carpet, right? Or you can slide it. You know what I mean? You can slide it. And that's what worries me, is that they made it thin and light.
So yeah, it's 63 pounds, and we'll do some Casinocade. We'll do a Casinocade comparison a little bit later. But first off, I mean, the first thing anybody's going to say is, great, another NBA Jam. They've done this title to death. NBA Jam's a new Pac-Man. That's fine. But again, they are listening to the community, and there's some positives from this, because you're looking at a 2-player deck, and then you get it in your head. Maybe they'll do a Turtles 2-player. Maybe they'll do a Blitz 2-player. Maybe they'll do a Golden Axe 2-player. You think about all the great 4-player games that people said there just wasn't room for in their home arcade. And then all of a sudden, Arcade1Up gives them what they want with the 2-player deck. But then again, they did this step back where they've made the cab a little less narrow. So there's a couple points I really don't like about this. One, my first big issue is, one of the issues with Arcade1Up is they always say we're selling 3/4 scale cabs, but the cabs have never been to scale. And that's a lot of the problem. So even when they get the correct form factor of the cab that matches the original arcade, the art is never correct, because the art has got to be cropped or a little bit off to the side, because the width is always so much smaller. It was already much smaller than it should be to scale. That's why with New Wave toys and with quarter arcades, they're actually to scale. You can get the correct art on the side, albeit with new quarter arcades, sometimes there's some extra turtle toes that you find in the middle of nowhere. But otherwise, I mean, the cabs actually have the correct art. Arcade1Up always has to do this crop thing. You look at Killer Instinct, even Killer Instinct Pro, some of the Skeleton Man, what's his name? He always draw a blank when I think of him. Who knows it? Guy on the side of the cab. Spinal. Spinal's always partially cut off.
Talking about Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
I was thinking He-Man.
I was thinking about Skeletor.
Skeletor, Dan.
Oh,
Here's the thing. They're already moving away from that arcade recreation. They already did it because it's not to scale. That's why the art's messed up. Now you're going even narrower. How is the art going to be on future cabs? With NBA Jam, I mean, it's just making sure the logo's on there and you lose some of the basketball. But on more iconic cabs, like a Turtles cab, what gets cut if they do a 4-player Turtles in this form factor?
Everything gets cut.
Maybe they'll cut off that extra toe they put on the the one cabinet that just recently got released. Which one had the extra
the original
toe?
Turtles. The original Turtles. I think they extrapolated the side art with AI.
They had a random toe sticking out of a window. Very creepy.
I showed it to my wife earlier, and she agrees with Thumper Squid. Less girth, and as she always told me, it's the girth that matters, not the length.
So we've gone from 4 players to 2 players. Next year, 0-player cabs. That's right, guys. 0-player cabs. Spectate only. All you guys screaming for spectating.
Yeah.
I love this comment, Jay.
That's pretty good. I was thinking about it. What if this would have came out, but it was 1 player? Would that be better or worse?
I don't really think the number of players matters. Like, it's always...
No. Imagine it. There's a joystick that's near the center. It's so small, right?
Yeah.
that what if it's just a one player? Like, I might be interested if it was a one player.
So there's always that benefit of when somebody comes over to your house, even though it's
How often does that happen?
Well, I have friends,
I
Justin. I
have
don't
no
know what your
friends.
life's like.
It never
Yeah.
happens.
I
never
have
happens
friends,
ever.
but they never come over to play games.
Well,
It's
I'm
always,
sorry.
like,
My friends are
dinner
like
and-
normal friends. I don't have these weird swinger parties that you go to with the eyes wide shut stuff.
Hey guys, we play in a band and we have pinball machines. Come on over.
So, anyways, there is a value to having two players. Like you'll have like nephew and nieces over. I love the 2-player aspect, but you never needed a 4-player cab other than authenticity, because really, like 2 players is tough, but 4 players is really tough to play around. You guys remember when we were playing Blitz in Chicago that first time? Like we could do it, but I mean, like it's pretty ridiculous, right? To have 4 normal or abnormal sized dudes all around a machine
Yeah.
trying to play.
I watched your video and you said that. And you remember when Cool Toy made that video? He was like showing off, look, it can be done. 4 dudes
Take
on
it to the
turtles.
dojo. Yep.
Take it to the dojo, find 4 guys that are in perfect shape.
Or
and
karate
they can-
champions.
And that's a fine point, but I don't remember. Did anyone say this? Maybe they did. But it's the whole like, hey, we all have that bubble that really don't come into my like bubble.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what it is. Because I've played, I think it was Turtles. Yeah, I played Turtles with 4 people. And there was definitely this moment of everybody's in my bubble right now. And it feels, even though this is my nephew, it still feels uncomfortable.
It's like playing Twister with dudes. Like you're having a good time, but you know it's not right.
Yeah. So this Juniorcade, if it
It's
was
a
one
boys
player,
medium cade.
look, I'm playing with the word
Boys
play,
medium.
right? Like we got to come up with a good one by the end.
I think we're missing a celebrity endorsement. Spud Webb could finally come back out of retirement
Yeah,
and
there you
endorse this
go.
bad boy,
So,
and you're good.
Yeah.
now, was this
The Webbicade?
was this part of the leaked photos that were sent to James? Hey, everything, James.
James, was this one of those leaked photos?
Are you saying that this is just as impressive as those were?
Yeah.
No, someone mentioned that, and I'll go back to PD7 saying, "Hey guys, why would Arcade1Up release these now?" Like, obviously, Arcade1Up didn't release the leaks, right? So, no, this didn't come from the leak photos. No one knew about this. This was
How do
not
we know
on
that they
anybody's
didn't
radar.
release them?
Because we received the photos from somebody.
Okay.
Who was that?
Not Arcade1Up. Got it.
That's right.
And who
You
was
just
that?
did. Wait, you didn't
I
get
don't
an
know.
envelope on your front doorstep one day?
No,
I have a feeling, P-Dubs, it's the same person that's always released the.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Who was that? Who leaked them?
Juan D. His name is Juan
Juan
D.
D.
Wait. What was
What?
that person on Facebook that released leaks? What was his name? Do you remember?
Doesn't ring a bell. Don't know.
Oh, there was like this name. Anyway,
I think it was.
sorry.
Oh, I will tell you the truth, guys. We got these from Nadia Gear.
Totally a real person, by the way.
Totally a real person.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Okay, Mike. So, in a month, are you going to have a change of heart and get this?
no, 0%.
Come on,
0.0%.
Come on, think it through.
So, I already have NBA Jam. I have the Jam XL. I'm good. Like I'm probably not in the same position as anybody else. I don't have a need for an NBA Jam. I've got my XL, but for the people looking for it, I'd be interested to know what they think. Are they still interested in it based on the change to the form factor? I also wanted to know why the change to the form factor, and I'm going to ask you why you think they did it. P-Dubs, can I ask you first this time, or are you going to be difficult about it?
Yeah, I don't want to go first.
All right. So, anyways, I'm going to start with Justin this time, and we'll go back up. Justin, why do you think they changed the form factor?
So I'm going to lean on some responses that I got from my video that I did today. Because honestly, I didn't know. I'm still puzzled. But
Yeah, you watched my video, and you were like, oh.
I still don't know, right?
Yeah.
But there was a few people that were mentioning, okay, maybe it's not about the size, it's about the weight. So it's a cost reduction. They're saving money on the shipping. Every piece of material will save the overall cost of the weight. So I don't know if we can compare the shipping weight, if that's there. I haven't looked at it. If we compare it, maybe that's the price. The other one was, okay, the idea that it is smaller, it is a 2-player, it's specifically for the demographic that don't have the space for a 4-player version. So they're like, instead of coming out with a deluxe, like the standard deluxe, which they already have, instead of making the 4-player deluxe a 2-player deluxe, which is only a control panel change, they make it even smaller. But they're charging a little bit more than you would expect for it, because they're like, hey, it's smaller.
Yeah.
That's like an expense. We're not going to sell very many of them or whatever. I don't know.
The argument is the NBA Jam Casinocade is considered an NBA Jam Deluxe as well, I guess. But for me, I mean, I think this is a different form factor. Instead of NBA Jam Deluxe, I would call it the NBA Jam Bitch Edition, because I don't know. It's just
the other idea, which hopefully you're getting to, is this is the non-Thinkup model.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to get to eventually. 19K Fox, I'll ask you next. What are your thoughts on why they did this?
I honestly don't know.
Neither do they.
I mean, you gotta, we talked about this on my stream last night. The lawsuit and severing ties with Thinkup is really the only, to me, it's the only reason I think they would go with something like this. It's a departure. If anybody's saying spare parts, that doesn't make any sense to me. You just came out with a 4-player version, a 4-player deluxe. Just take the exact same cabinet and just make a 2-player deck and slap it on it, and you're good. Because that would have
been the smart move.
That would have been smart. You would have given people options. You could have maybe changed the artwork a little bit to make it, to differentiate it a little bit more. But I mean, they had to design this. Okay, we're going to get into some of the specs in a minute, but like, let's say it's the bottom half of the Casinocade. The top half had to be designed. Like, this is new. This is different. This is not exactly the same side profile we've seen with the other cabinets. So it took effort to do that. I think the only reason they would take that effort is to avoid any association with the Thinkup design. They're going to roll with this. It's to me, the depth of the cabinet has never, ever been a problem. And to take some away, it's just you're going to lose stability. And I'll be interested to hear what Dubs has to say about the Casinocade stability. I guess you're not jamming when you're playing Casinocade, but
no, because with the Casinocade, you're literally just hitting one button at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus this, which is pretty much the same size and weight as the Casinocade. If you're using your joystick and buttons, I just feel this thing is going to be moving all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, you might actually have to use your anti-tip strap that nobody ever uses.
Yeah.
You
guys might actually have to screw this damn thing into the drywall to keep it from falling, ladies and gentlemen. With it shaking.
So James, I'll ask you now, why do you think they made this change now?
So I actually know why they made this change.
Here it comes. Confirmed.
Yep. Nice.
So,
James, how can I get a hashtag? James knows everything.
So guys our age remember going to the grocery store and getting a carton of ice cream, right?
Yeah.
And when you were young, you would open that up and it was all full. It was all the way end to end. And then as you went on, years go by, you'd open it up and it's a little less full until you get today's day and age where you open it up and it's half full, right? But the box is the same size. So this is the same thing, right? Same size box, but they had to cut costs. So they're giving you a smaller casino or a arcade cabinet inside the box.
So it's like bags of chips.
Yes,
what we're getting is mostly air.
Never full.
So one of the theories that I came up with, and I actually reached out to a gentleman by the name of Juan D earlier to ask him his opinion. And the first thing I thought of was, does this have to do with the lawsuit that we discussed last night on James' show, or Fox's show with James, and James had a video on it. So maybe one of the things is to, keep themselves away from the Thinkup fiasco that's going on right now. is to just use a different form factor, one that Thinkup didn't design. And I don't know for sure, but there's a chance that Thinkup possibly didn't design the Casinocade form factor. So that's the one direction they're going in. The more obvious answer, of course, is they're trying to find ways for cost savings. They're trying to find ways to make their product cheaper. And one way is, of course, cut out some of the space. As everybody knows, there's nothing inside an Arcade1Up. It's artificial just for the looks, so they don't really need all that space. So I guess they thought, hey, what's a good business decision is we can cut our wood costs by about 37% if we go in this direction. And like you said, also with the reduced weight, also the shipping costs. So that's my feelings on the direction. The other one is 100%, like I said earlier, they heard from the community they wanted smaller cabs. The community consensus was the problem is not the depth. It was always the width across. So you could fit more cabs in your room side to side. There was never an issue with the depth, never a problem. But Arcade1Up always has to make things more complicated than they need to be. See their t-shirts. I want a t-shirt with Arcade1Up on it. Why is there a dragon and a very invisible Arcade1Up symbol? Really quickly, guys. We got a super chat from my buddy Nicholas Diorio. Nicholas, I want to give Nicholas credit because when I first woke up this morning, I saw the group chat buzzing. P-Dubs was talking about the NBA Jam 2-player cab. And then I had a couple people message me on Twitter. And one of the first people to point out to me about the Casinocade likeness was my buddy Nicholas Diorio. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. This form factor makes me irrationally angry, and I blindly defend most of this crap. Me too. I love Arcade1Up. I don't want them to do bad, but like I have a very personal feeling that what I want Arcade1Up to be is arcade recreations, toy recreations of the original arcade. And this is moving in the wrong direction. So I'm right with you, Nicholas Diorio. And most of you people may or may not know this, but Nicholas is a big pinball guy. Thanks to our suggestion, Justin, P-Dubs, and myself, B-Kong as well, Nicholas has gone over the waters to pinball, and because of that, we got to give him something special. In fact, we got to give the people what they want.
Oh, dear God.
It's back. It's back.
It never left. It was always there.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. You're the best, man. All right, I got to take that off. So, yeah, I mean, this is really disappointing. And he pointed out the Casinocade likeness. It was funny. I did my video earlier, and I had a comment from C Marvel 360 who told me I was completely off base, that he doesn't understand where I'm coming from on the Casinocade comparison. He doesn't get, he thinks it's just an NBA Jam with the back cut off. So I actually did something that I don't normally do here, fellas. And this is something that other YouTubers are more known for. I made a slide. So
Nice.
these are the actual dimensions taken
So
from the
proud.
website. So the depth is 18.8 inches on this one. I said width, but it's actually depth. And the it says width over here 18.6, but it's or 18.4 depth. I don't know which is which here.
So
no, 18.8 width and 18.6 width. So the NBA Jam Deluxe Casinocade is actually 0.2 inches less wide than the Casinocade. The Casinocade is actually a more robust cabinet.
I want to call 0.2 robust.
It's
Seriously,
more
Mike,
robust.
it's a nominal difference. It's still small.
Girth.
But
Listen,
More
me
robust.
and you pop out our tallywhackers. You're gonna notice that 0.2.
I mean, come on, man. It's more robust. Point
Well,
two.
speaking of more robust, we got a $2 super chat. Here's your $2 from my buddy Stringer Films. Remind me of when they turned Conan toys into He-Man. And thank you very much
Yeah.
for your super chat, Stringer. You gotta
I
give the
do-
people what they want.
I do like my Venom. I hadn't turned it on for 2 months, and I turned it on last night, and I played Venom a bit. And a lot of you guys crap on Venom. I love my Venom. I'm so glad I have it. It's so
No,
fast
no.
and fun.
No. I'm sorry for crapping on Venom. Venom's a good game, and it's just people like different things and themes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you played Jaws yet?
Yeah, I played Jaws when I was in Denver for work.
Yeah. Like I love the theme. Big fan of the movie. I was a little disappointed when I originally saw it, but playing it, and I played the Pro too. I was very impressed.
Yeah. I was at that bar in Denver at that 1UP arcade bar, and they had a Jaws limited edition there with the white body armor just in and all that stuff.
Nice.
And all the fixins on the table. And don't you guys remember when I was flying home from Denver, I messaged you guys and I said, I take back everything mean I said about Jaws, because I was shitting all over Jaws. But I played the limited edition and I really liked it. So
yeah, no, Venom's a fine game. I will say though, I just for Jaws real quick, I think it's eventually going to become the best pinball game of all time. I think what I'm trying to say, more and more people will get over the whole it's uncool to like the Jaws Stern pinball machine. Once they get past that, they'll be like, this game is really fun to play. It's better than Godzilla.
It was.
Easy there now.
It's better than Godzilla.
I enjoyed it.
I disagree.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
good.
I have some data to back it up. The local arcade says it trumps the sales of Godzilla, hands down. It generates more revenue. It has a more active play throughout the day. Like, the data is pointing to Jaws is a better selling, better playing game than Godzilla. And the only thing that's why people aren't saying that is because it's uncool to like Jaws, and it's uncool.
No, it's uncool to like John Wick.
It's only
now. Get with the
cool.
times, Justin.
It's only cool to say Godzilla's number one.
That's not true. And your sample,
true.
your sample point. Like,
Watch this. I love Godzilla. Does anyone have a problem with that?
No.
But you have a problem with me saying Jaws is the best game of all time. Because it's uncool.
But you're saying this statistically, it's the best game of all time. Then you use a representative sample for the entire world based on one
now, what's yours? What's your sample? What's your sample?
Pinside.
Everyone says Pinside numbers are crap.
I hate it when mom and dad fight.
Pinside numbers are crap.
Really quickly, we got another super chat here from Jason Little Alien, and I love this one. Jason, best moderator in the business. $5 super chat when you order your Arcade1Up Deluxe on Wish.
Indeed.
You know what's a better game than Jaws?
Nice.
You gotta give the people what they want. Anyways, yes, I think Elvira is a better game than Jaws. I'll just say that.
Good pull there, Mike. Good pull.
Where's your data?
Where's my data? The fun factor.
Knows a guy down the street has one.
And just so like that, we turned it into a pinball show.
Rights Retro.
It always happens.
Rights Retrocade says, how is this even shorter than the Casinocade? $279. Well, I think the only reason the Casinocade is taller is because of this sign that goes up here. I think that the actual bodies are the same. It's the sign that makes it go a little bit taller. What do you think?
I guess.
Yes.
What's the picture? Does the picture show the dimensions are the sign?
Yeah, that's a good point. Hold on. Let me get this up. Let me get it up. That's what she said.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the width the measurement of the control panel or the actual base.
Yeah, it's 63.4, including the sign.
Look at that. 3, 6, 9, 10 retailers, and nobody's buying it.
Including.
Well, I mean, the Brick has them on display, has had one on display, and I would go play it so I can give you, my Nebraska Furniture Mart review. However, every single time I go in, no one's ever connected it to the Wi-Fi, so you can't play it.
What? They did a firmware
that was the problem I had when I went to play it too at the actual Nebraska Furniture Mart. You couldn't. You have to log in and all that stuff, and you couldn't connect anything.
But see, you have to connect it download the firmware update, and then the firmware update allows you
Let
to
you
then
play it
play it
offline.
offline.
You got to do the initial online
But
update.
they didn't do the initial update. It sounds like they just
No.
built it and stuck it on the floor.
So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to say, listen, this machine's broken, guys. I'll give you $200 for your floor model. Anyways, Rights Retrocade, thank you very much. And because you're nice, we'll do something a little bit different for you.
I knew it.
That's
So
my favorite one.
during that video, when he goes like this and his arms start flapping, you can see all the prototype photos just falling.
Just falling right out of the sleeve.
The sleeves of his jacket, and they're falling out of his jacket and they're landing in your guys' DMs. How is that possible?
It's the who knows? Who knows how these things happen?
Oh, and actually, Stringer Films with this is some old school knowledge, and it's not the best pin. $2 super chat from Stringer Films. Shut up, Justin. NBA Fast Break is the best pin. It's not 100% accurate, but it used to be a really good starter pin for people because it's a really, really good pin, and it used to be pretty reasonably priced. So you'd see collectors that were arcade collectors maybe go pick up their first pin. They always went and grabbed that NBA Fast Break because cheaper pin, really good game, but it's not the best pin. It's just the best starter pin for people, price and gameplay.
Would you say it's a good value?
Well, I need to ask P-Dubs about that.
What is this machine a good value?
No, the NBA Fast Break pinball machine. You're our value
It's
expert.
called Fast Break because it breaks a lot.
And fast.
I don't think that's what
No.
that means.
I've never played it.
I would not want to own an NBA Fast Break.
Oh, you guys are missing out. Fast Break is the one, man. Maybe not so much anymore because I think everybody knows now. Anyways, thank you very much for the super chat, Stringer Films. You're the best, man. I appreciate it. So just moving on here now. We've done the comparison. Obviously, this is, in fact, a Casinocade form factor. We don't know why they did it. There's lots of reasons they could have done it. Should they have done it? Do you think this will impact sales of this unit, the new form factor? P-Dubs, you're going first this time.
Yes.
And why?
Because it's too skinny. People won't buy it.
Yeah.
It's too small.
Well, what about the people that want it skinny?
There were people that wanted it 2 players so they could fit more cabs next to it. Was there anybody that was actually like, I wish this stuck in closer to the wall? You know, really do.
Well, according to Nostalgia, 60.39% of the community is overweight, and they need larger machines.
Yep.
So this machine won't fit most of us.
Wow.
So, no, honestly, like I told you guys, I think them coming out with 2 players is great. I think that's great. But the change in the cabinet shape and the weight of it makes me say no, thank you. So we'll see.
Let me ask a question, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Is it true that that bottom piece of wood is intended for you to put your feet on it?
100%.
You sure it's not a stabilizer to keep it from falling forward?
I've never put my foot on that board playing like the Casinocade or any arcade that had
There
that.
we go. I think P-Dubs just debunked the stabilizer. Like James, it's a stabilizer just to stabilize it without your foot, right?
Yeah.
So it won't fall forward on you when you're banging on it.
That makes sense to me.
And if you put your foot on it, if it falls backwards, your foot's going to hold that bottom piece, and the rest of the cabinet's going to go in. like those cab locks are going to. It's going to come right out.
P-Dubs, how many of these G panels on the bottom have you broke, and they finally make one you can?
It's a trail of tears, Mike.
You can, in fact, step on a G panel finally, and you're fighting it. You're saying like, I won't step on it, but you'll step on it when you're not supposed to.
Let me ask you this: is it really close to your foot? Do you like hit it easily?
No,
Okay.
like on the Casinocade, I never kicked it or touched it or anything.
Okay. Stringer Films. It's where you put your weed.
Put
Remember
your weed
what
in there.
movie was that? Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
$2 super chat from Stringer Films. What other pin can you link up for head to head? Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way, Stringer Films.
Every insider connected machine can do head to head.
I wouldn't want to own one, let alone two of those machines, Stringer.
Yeah.
One thing I will give Arcade1Up credit for in this, I've been pretty hard on them on their presentation, on a lot of their marketing materials and stuff like that. So they actually went out and they broke the bank here, and they did a good video for once. So instead of our 80s Cyrus style, this is actually really well done. Good, you got some stuff playing.
Yeah.
All these resources wasted.
Wait.
For this cab.
Hold on. Who made that?
Yeah,
Who made that video?
Not
Well,
Thinkup.
Not
it's pretty
Nicole.
slick, right? And Thinkup took credit for all the old videos and marketing materials. So this has to be a
they
new
did
company.
CGI for all of that stuff. The 3D modeling. I think Thinkup made this design before. I think they had this design during the Casinocade, because that looks like Thinkup. Like Thinkup had the ability to take the 3D model, the CAD design of the arcades, and move it in a 3D space. Full that little spin, that unless they hired a new company, but the new company would have to take the CAD design. You know what I mean? That's like and Thinkup, Jerry would talk about it, and he called it CGI.
So
it was this
so-
CAD 3D modeling.
I don't know if this is on the final cab, but I want to take a look at this video. Look,
back
the
panels?
art
Oh, yeah.
from the outside of the cab. I guess
It's on the inside.
It's
Yeah.
on the inside because they didn't want to pay for new art. They just used the art from the old cabs and then wrapped it around the wood.
like, just fold it over, fold it
fine.
over, and then add the
It's fine.
the orange tape crap and trimming.
Yeah, I think that's just in the 3D video, because if you go back here to the cabinet itself, go up and look at the image. It's all black on the inside, so that's just a foible of the video.
This company is just so sad to talk about these days.
So I have a serious question.
Oh boy.
Sure.
Let's say you've never purchased an Arcade1Up cab before, and this is your first exposure, and you see this in the store. Do you notice or care about the depth?
But you're never going to see these in stores anymore.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is on Amazon. It might be in Best Buy. I can't say that, but most of these are, online orders, and anything you online order. Also, it's $500 fucking dollars. So it's not like it's a purchase that you make just on the spot. It's not like you're like picking up milk and then you're like, oh my God, that NBA Jam looks cool. I got an extra $500. I'll just grab it.
Mike, I think you're wrong, because PD7 has proven to us, if you go to the same Best Buy 32 times, you will see Arcade1Up all the time.
I don't know. I watched this video by this really great creator called James Hates Everything, and he did this hour and 30-minute stream where he was all he was doing was reading about lawsuits. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but he's a great creator. But in there, what we learned was within just a short period of time, Arcade1Up's revenue was $69 million.
Yep.
And potentially, this is the math that he was doing, and I'm going to take it further, right? It was $333 million is how much Arcade1Up potentially made. That's how much the 3% they would have to give Thinkup, if you do the math, is $333 million. And they're like, Thinkup believes or alleges that that's only half of what they owe. So it's $666 million is how much Arcade1Up has made in total revenue, which I think that revenue is actually just their wholesale sales.
Yeah.
It's not margin. Yeah.
And
It's not
direct to consumers, but mostly all wholesale.
Right. So this company could be up to almost $1 billion in
$1
wholesale
billion.
sales. So to go back to James' point, I think there's a little motivation behind or there's intelligence behind his question of, is the average consumer gonna care about this? And putting that all together, we have always been the 1%ers, and the average person is totally gonna buy this machine because our community did not spend $1 billion on Arcade1Up in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I know people.
hold
I know people that have bought 50 cabs.
Is the
Those are
average
whales,
person
though.
is the average person going to buy any Arcade1Ups
know.
besides like a Casinocade, which has some,
Mm.
I think it has some broad appeal.
But-
besides Infinity Game Table,
because the average
has,
person's
you
going to
know-
go to YouTube and see all your hater videos out there, guys.
That's right. 19K Fox, Arcade1Up
damn right.
bad, Unicode good.
this has
John
been
good.
listen. I didn't dog the cabinet, but I pointed out several things with this cabinet that was like it was a huge step up actually from Ninja Turtles. Right, this was a big deal when it first came out many years ago as the second 4-player cabinet, and it was a big deal. They added a lot of features.
First online cabinet.
Since then, the first one online, yeah, absolutely. But since then, I mean, this has had just a ton of iterations. And I think that you get the 2-player countercade, you had obviously the partycade in multiple flavors, you had the Shack edition, this thing has been, and then the most recent 4-player deluxe. I just don't know who this is for if you're talking about the exact same price point. Basically, I mean, it's damn near identical. I just don't know who this is really for, because the 1%ers are the people that are actually digging into this. We're the ones that are on the mailing list. We see these videos. We're the ones that are going to potentially pre-order something they make. This isn't for us.
No. But
maybe
is. That's the fucking problem. And I'm
Well,
sorry
but
for swearing again.
no, it's fine. What's your show?
For people saying it's not for us, the 2-player control deck is 1000% a quality of life improvement the community requested. So saying this cab isn't for us is wild. Why would they do a community?
If this is for if this was for us, Ninja Turtles. What if this was Ninja Turtles or X-Men? We'll throw Simpsons out because of the trackball. What if this was really for us? Then it would be X-Men or it would be TMNT, because we have not had a new iteration.
But
I'm telling you,
under Arcade1Up's limitations. So we don't even know if they have Konami under their team anymore. We don't know if they can license Konami games. We don't know if they can make Konami games. What they can make, we know, is NBA Jam, and they also have to make this probably because of their licensing agreement that they have to release so many cabs and the return on investment year over year. So the only way they were going to give us a 4-player deck with the community suggestion was to release something they could release, which is NBA Jam.
But if that was the case, to hold on to the license, you just had a deluxe 4-player come out. So that surely meets that criteria to release something. When you consider this whole line,
we don't know. We don't know the contract. We don't know the agreement.
But I'm saying in this scenario, this hypothetical scenario you're talking about, where that needed to be, you got to come out with something to satisfy the license holder. Okay, fine, we did that. If you're going to do something like this, and it's going to be a radical departure, do a different game. I'm surely they have one of those games in the staple. Do they still have Nintendo? I mean, not Nintendo. They never had Nintendo. Nickelodeon. Do they still have the Nickelodeon license?
We don't know.
To do TMNT. I mean, so this could be pinpointing a bigger problem. If everything is dried up and all they have is Pac-Man and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam, they're dead in the water. They should stop coming out with different form factors and just try to sell what they have.
No, I don't think they're dead in the water. I think that's going a little bit too far. But let me read this comment from Goofyfoot. He was kind enough to give me a $4.99 super chat. Patty Smith. Really, I ignored the Dramarama, but now you are officially a tool. That's okay. I love the Warriors. I absolutely love the song Goofyfoot. And if you're just finding out now I'm a tool, you haven't been watching for the last 3 years. Thank you very much for the super chat. And Dramarama is a bit of a deep cut because I actually only used Dramarama like 9 years ago on my Halloween special video. I did anything by Dramarama. So that's good attention to detail. Nice deep cut there, man. Good job. So anyways, we got to find something different for you. Here we go. Oh man, the Weekend Blinding Lights might even be worse. You got to give the people what they want. Thank you very much, Goofyfoot. I appreciate it, my man.
And you
With
make
the
some
way-
points, Box.
Yeah.
Good
With the
point.
way
I don't know if they're good
James
points.
hates with the way James hates everything, nearly karate chopped his Golden Tee Deluxe in half when he was playing it. James, are you planning on picking this up and adding it to your arcade collection?
Well, thankfully, I already have an NBA Jam, so this is not coming in. But the weight really thinks like you'll just knock this thing over, wailing around, especially as you get into the latter games of the season and you're really moving that thing. This thing is not, I think you posted sandbags where you can go buy sandbags.
Yeah,
You're gonna
affiliate
need some
link
of
on
those.
my YouTube channel, guys. Go to the community post. There's an affiliate link for sandbags. Officially sponsored by me.
I put
Keep
up
that
an
standard.
affiliate link for NBA Jam on Twitter and in both my YouTube videos, this one too, which I got by using Cool Toys affiliate link to go to Amazon that again get my own affiliate link. So really good comment here from Nicholas Diorio. Their whole business model is upgrades through minor annual increments. The company can't sell old stock forever. They need to make a new, slightly better version. So he's suggesting that maybe the reason we're getting this new version now is they've already sold Deluxe. So they need to find a way to sell a new version of NBA Jam. So maybe the change could be for the Thinkup reason, could be for the money-saving reason, but it could just be they're trying to throw shit at the wall, come up with new versions so they can sell the same thing over again.
Yeah.
It could be a thing. Like what if they go to the retailer and they're like, look, how did the sales of NBA Jam go? They went great, they say. We sold a ton. There's not a lot of buyback, or whatever returns, Can we get another run? And Arcade1Up's like, yeah. You want another 10,000 Best Buy? That sounds good. But we have this other one. Check this one out. It's $50 cheaper, but you can still sell it for $4.99 if you want to. And they're like, oh, let's do that. And they're like, yeah, we just did this cost reduction version. And maybe they're the smart ones out of all this. I'm really thinking about James Hates Everything's video, because it's like, if we're the 1%ers actually, and they've made close to $1 billion, their sales numbers are to Walmart, are to Best Buy, and they're just like, people will buy this crap. They're gonna sell tons of them. It's like, yeah, they'll save $50 in weight, shipping, or whatever, and give it to them.
So I'm going to go in a different direction now. I've had this up all show, so I'm going to stop sharing for a minute because I want to get us all on screen. So we've had enough time to look at the NBA Jam Deluxe, and we can pick that apart. Realistically, I don't think any of us here are getting it. Like, we either have it, like I have the XL. Fox, do you still have the XL?
I don't.
I
don't. Well, I had to make room for some bigger arcades. I still have my my Golden Tee, which that thing has got a special place in my heart. But I was looking on my phone.
Shit. The trackball is
best thing in the
terrible.
world. You suck ass. So I just had to replace the screen 4 times. No problem.
Yeah,
I was looking on my phone. I was on Walmart's website, and you can get the Deluxe 4-player right now for the same price, $4.99. So that's what shoppers are confronted with, or faced with. If it was just a side-by-side comparison, same cabinet, except for the 2-player versus 4-player, which one would you be more apt to get? If it was the same cabinet, except it was 2 or 4. Honestly,
this thing should have been $3.99, and I think it would have been better.
And maybe it will be $3.99. Maybe they're just doing like, hey, let's see how many suckers will pay like over MSRP for it.
I think Slim and Light. If you look at every iteration,
we know one guy in Wisconsin. He'll put it in his master bedroom.
When the last NBA Jam Deluxe came out, the tournament edition, wasn't it retail $5.99?
That's right. Yeah, four-player cash are always $100 more.
I think Slim and Light implies a cheaper model. Look at PlayStation, look at Nintendo, look at everybody who does this. It's slimmer, it's lighter, it's cheaper. $50, $100, whatever. They didn't do that.
Well, I mean, it's Arcade1Up.
It's not Arcade1Up. No, it's not. This isn't Arcade1Up. We're past Arcade1Up.
No. Okay. Yes. The
What's the name of the new company, James? You know it, right? Like, is it?
Disruptive?
It's the Infinity, or it's Board Game 1-Up.
No.
I don't
So
know.
there
disruptive. Disruptive.
Disruptive.
Disruptive.
Yeah.
Disruptive Products
old.
was always there, man. That's
No,
Scott
that was
Bacharach's
they
company.
took over, right? They took over.
No.
Okay, there was a company that wasn't Tastemakers. I
Yes,
don't know the name.
Disruptive.
That's the strip
Disruptive.
club
And that
company.
company
That's not
was
Disruptive.
helping to fund Arcade1Up, and now they took over.
See, this
Am
is
I
where-
wrong?
This is
Yeah,
where I'm
it's a
little-
good theory.
I think you're right, but that
Devin
company's name
took over the company.
Yeah,
Not
it's something partners. It wasn't Disruptive Products. I can't
Disruptive
remember the
Products was
finance
always Scott
company.
Bacharach.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to the filings, James knows it. It's in the filings. Disruptive
Okay.
was always Scott's
Who
company.
cares?
Okay,
Why
great.
does it
So
matter?
this is the important part. The founders of the product that we purchased, Scott Baccarat and Jerry, what's his last name? Jerry
Cummings.
Yeah.
They came up with this idea and brought it to market, and we bought it. Those companies are no longer a part of whatever this is now.
Yep.
So this is like you loving Metallica, and the original band players aren't in it anymore.
They're not.
So this,
They
you
started
can't call it
Megadeth.
Metallica anymore. This is some other band. I know. Better analogy. Come up with
it's
a
a
better
good.
band.
It's a good analogy. It's a good analogy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But anyways, I'm a little off track there. I got a comment here from Nicholas DiOrio, $5 super chat. Let's say Smash TV releases in the Casinocade form factor. Are we cooked? You're getting a little bit ahead of me because that's the direction we're going in here, Nicholas. But
here
I
we
want to
go.
say thank you so much for your super chat. And I got to think of
So-
something special to give you. Hold on. I mean, Goofyfoot can't have a problem with Little Blue Oyster Cult. Like, come on, man.
Michael B
Oh, sure he
messaged
can.
us earlier, and he was having a panic attack. He's like, "If this is the new form factor, I'm done. I'm done. It's over."
So that's the fear. Like another cabinet will
Like
come
every
out
machine
and
is
it'll
going to look
just
like this, Mike.
be this new version.
That's
Probably,
where
yeah.
I'm going
Gotta
with
be.
this.
Yeah.
If
Is that
this is
confirmed?
this a one-off or is this the new
Tell me it's a one-off.
sleek design?
If-
going
have
forward?
have you guys looked at the other deluxe NBA Jam today?
Yeah.
It looks so great compared to this.
It looks
It's as good as it could be.
Yeah.
Naturally, they go the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like no, just back up. Maybe the deluxes are fine.
But hey, I'm happy with them coming out with 2-player versions because a lot of people have been asking for them. I just
Yeah.
wish they gave these machines a sandwich or something, fed them a
Yeah.
sandwich.
They got to get them
Juice them up, baby.
So
Oh,
A little more.
This new cabinet looks like 19K
Here's the thing.
Fox. These are the 19K Fox cabs.
if this is the
skinny
new,
legs.
I've never been more insulted.
if this is the new form factor, and I actually have a poll up in the chat right now. That was the question of the week from everybody.
vote?
I've got
I'm gonna vote right
178 votes so far. Will you still buy Arcade1Up Deluxe cabs with the new Casinocade form factor, assuming this is the form factor going forward?
Okay.
6% right now, 184 votes. 6% say yes. 26% say depends on game. 64% says no, just dead no. And then 4% says I wouldn't buy Arcade1Up anyways. So we're going to
Wow.
keep this running until the end of the show. But like right now, it's a resilient
of-
no.
Bunch of
So how
haters out there.
far out from the wall do you have to have this thing to line up with your other arcades? Right?
So that's the funny
That's a
thing
good point.
is when you put
That's a
the
good point.
Casinocade next to standard Arcade1Ups like on a riser, there's this big 6-inch, almost it feels like gap, where you have to step forward more to play.
6
it.
inches
And
is a lot.
and
It's a lot.
Oh,
and
wow.
if you have it forward, and let's say it's on carpet versus a floor, because my loft is carpet, it could wiggle. That's what I'm imagining. But keep in mind with the Casinocade, you're literally just going like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's not a lot of movement there. But I think this is going to fall over on someone. It's going to fall over. It's going to crash on someone's
you mean
toddler.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
gonna
this is a risk factor of falling over and
Same
hurting.
thing my wife said, 100%. When I
it's
showed
gonna
her
fall
it,
over
yeah,
on some baby,
bastard.
some toddler, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be hilarious.
I think
Well,
the
not
only way you're
hilarious,
putting
but-
it against the wall is if you don't have any other ones. You know,
Well,
because you're
gotta
not
use
gonna
that
leave thing
anti-tip
so
strap,
recessed.
bro.
Is it a foot long? How long is that anti-tip strap?
So Science Spirits
like
makes a good point
3
because
inches.
we all love our buddy PD7, the nicest guy in the community, and he's so positive. Phil is still gonna make him
Oh,
want to buy it. He'll be at Hobby Lobby one day. He'll be like, "Hey guys, I was buying the sign. You know what I thought? This would go great with that new NBA Jam Deluxe. What do you think?"
Count on it. You'll see it tomorrow morning, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know what if I'm going back and forth between the Mortal Kombat Deluxe, which is I think the best comparison. If you look at some of these measurements, they don't really make sense. On their website, they say that the Mortal Kombat is 23.5 inches wide, 19.7 inches deep. And then if you look at this new Abomination, it's only 18.5 inches wide and 18.4 inches deep. So it's only like an inch and a half less depth. So that can't be right.
But that includes
Right?
the like fat lip at the bottom or whatever, the foot.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
it goes-
what
it's
maybe
all
that's
the
what
way
they're
to the foot.
including.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. If you look at the measurement, click on the
See if we can find the dude.
The dude.
18.4 includes the
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah.
18.4. Yeah. Okay, so it's much more than that.
And then
But what about
click on
the
that
width?
bottom picture? It's the worst.
18.6 wide.
Yeah, it's narrower.
And you're looking, if you go to the Mortal Kombat Deluxe, well, no, it's 18.8. So it's 0.2 inches skinnier. Okay. So that makes sense.
Dude, this means we can totally fit like 5 more Arcade1Ups in our house. They're getting smaller, bro.
So 18.4. So there's 4 inches plus the lip is probably a couple inches. This thing is like 6 inches skinnier. It's not 6 inches less depth. That's a substantial amount.
Yeah, that's what she
6
said.
inches is a lot. Like it's a lot.
Well, yeah, I don't care. Yeah. She'll say that for sure.
Said it was a good size.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Good
told me it
stuff.
was a good size.
So really quickly, here we go. I want to ask this: if this is the new form factor going forward, any game comes out, like they blow our minds. Like tomorrow they announce Cubert Deluxe P-Dubs, but it looks like this and has the same form factor. Do you still buy it, or are you turned off because of the way that it now looks?
Oh man.
It's
That's
tough, right?
tough. That's tough because
Exactly.
if it's a game that you love and you've been waiting for, that's hard. But luckily I own a real Cubert, so I think I could pass on it. But I think I would buy it out of curiosity and the fact that I'm a Cubert fan, right?
Yeah.
Like I think I would want to check it out. Odds are I probably want to end up keeping it. But I would like to check it out and compare it to the real thing, right?
James,
So
James,
just
I don't
thought of
know you
something.
enough. So what if I'm just going to ask you, what if they came out with something really cool? What's a game you love?
He loves Crazy Balloon.
I love what?
Crazy balloon.
Crazy
Yes.
Balloon.
So they come out with Crazy
So I
Balloon.
like
Are you buying
Akari
it?
and stuff like that. Those, but I've made one of those. So there's a million games I want. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it was one I really wanted. What I would do is reach out to GI Joel and say, "Can you make an extender kit now and add those like 6 inches back on?"
Oh my
The thickness.
Yeah.
All right, 19K Fox, Alien versus Predator, but it's this deluxe form factor. You picking it up?
Once again, I'm kind of like P-Dubs. If it's your favorite game, you want maybe even if it's not your primary cabinet, you still kind of want it for a curiosity, maybe as a way to kind of celebrate the game and show that you're a fan of it. But for me, I'd want a 3-player deck. So this with a 4-player deck or a 3-player deck or something, I just don't. I just don't like the look of it, man. And if it feels, you've lost a lot of depth there. I just don't think this is going to feel stable. And that's going to take away the fun. I mean, Arcade1Ups for the most part have just enough weight to where you can jam on them a little bit and they're going to wiggle, but they're not going to fall over. They're not going to feel super cheap, no matter what some people say. This, I just don't see this having enough weight to really, like, if you're into it, I just don't see it's going to be distracting, I guess is my point. And I'm not going to want to play this thing, which is kind of why you buy it.
Justin, I'd actually, even though we've known each other for a long time, I don't know your favorite arcade game, but I'm assuming Zaxxon is your favorite, really?
No,
well, I do
Guitar
have
Hero.
some
Guitar Hero.
fond memories of Zaxxon, sure.
I was going to say Return of the Jedi.
That game is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so they make a Zaxxon or a Return of the Jedi Deluxe like this. Are you going to pick it up?
Maybe
$500.
Maybe
Well,
no.
see,
I
Mike,
would
you're
wait
not-
for $3.99.
Mike, you're not being fair though, because think about it. If we all have our own favorite IPs, right? Things that are nostalgic and pull on our heartstrings. I'll
There's a
tell you right
reason
now,
I'm doing this, yeah.
if someone comes out with a Cubert coffee mug, a Cubert
Yeah.
sign, if it's Cubert, I'm going to buy it, Mike. But so it's tough for me to say no. But any other game that comes out in this form factor, Mike, it's going to be a no. You know
Jump
what
to
I
the
mean?
big one, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no.
So the reason why I'm going in
Would
this
you get it?
direction-
You wouldn't get it if it was Donkey Kong?
No.
nope.
No. So the reason I'm asking this is someone wrote me earlier today and said, I watched your video. His name's Todd Kaplan, nice guy. And he said to me, even though I agree with your points, if they released the right game, you would still get it, even if it had that form factor. Like if they released a Robotron 2084 tomorrow. And I will openly say, no, I wouldn't. Here's the thing. I don't buy Arcade1Ups so I can play the game. I don't think anybody really does. I don't think we buy them because we play the game, because there's so many other ways that we can play all these arcade games. We buy them for the nostalgia. We buy them for the experience. We buy them because, we want to try to fool our minds that it's a real arcade in front of us and bring that nostalgia in. And the more they move away from trying to recreate the arcade cabinet, the more concessions it makes, the more toy-like it makes. For me, it takes away that experience. So if they're not going to do justice to the arcade cabinet, I don't really give a shit, because I've got lots of ways I can play Robotron and really good. So if it's I got to take massive concessions, pay $500 US, which is $649 Canadian by the time it gets here, for something that I'm still going to pick apart and say I don't like, I'm sorry. Like the thumbnail says, that's a path I can't follow. Like if this is the new form factor going forward, I guess I could try it, but I really don't like the look of it. And let's be honest, we're not buying these to play the games. We're buying them because it's a whole package, and most of it's the way it looks. And if it looks stupid, that takes away most of my reason to buy the cabinet.
I think I've always called these compromise machines, and everybody has to do the mental calculus. What are you willing to live with to get this thing in your house, because it's not a one-to-one recreation. They've made some concessions. There's an LCD, it's short, it's skinny, it's whatever, 4-player, 2-player, whatever. The coin door is plastic. What can you live with, right? What are you willing to accept at this price point? And I think P-Dubs is right. You're going to pull on our heartstrings if you pick the favorite game, but what if you just pick like a really good game? What if they come out with TMNT, but the original artwork in this form factor? I'm not interested. And I would love a TMNT Deluxe, the way they were making like the other NBA Jam 4-player. But if they just take a pretty solid game, I'm just not interested. It just looks, I don't think this is going to be an enjoyable play experience.
Go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
I don't know. It's so weird that we even have to ask the questions this way. Because I was even thinking, basically the game we're playing is trying to get you to say yes. And one of the ways I can try to get you to say yes is, what if this was the only option ever? Go back in time to 2018, and this is it. Would you have never bought an Arcade1Up, or would you go, oh yeah, that was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Back in 2018, when it was the only option, but it's kind of like, this is going to sound really bad, but when you're first like dating and you're with a girl, you get involved in some heavy petting and you're like, this is the best thing I ever did.
This is a horrible analogy.
I know it's going to get worse, but the more you move along that line and you try new things, Then you go back to the heavy petting and you're like, yeah, that was okay, but can we do the better thing again? So the thing is, we already had that with the shark fin. We already had full concessions and
I
stuff
see.
like that. It already came full circle where we got XL cabs that are incredible, pro cabs. We got deluxe cabs that were, almost exactly the form factor. So then to take a step back and do something like this, you're just like, yeah, I don't want that. I've already had better than this.
I've had better.
Yeah. What do you think of the new NBA Jam Deluxe 2-player? I've had better.
A bit better.
I'm sitting here. I've been playing with Figma, and I don't know if this is any good, but I share my screen. Like, if you want to share it, like
Yeah,
I'm not
sure.
very good. This is like Figma's like a Photoshop competitor, but you can do a lot in
Are
it.
you trying to sell us on this Figma now?
Yeah. Oh, Figma.com. Go check it out. They're a company that Adobe was going to buy out, but because they're so good in the regulations, they didn't buy them. But it's free and it can do a lot of things that Photoshop can do, composition. If you want to make YouTube thumbnails, try Figma.com. Not sponsored or anything like that. We just use it at work. And so I'm all like, oh, what if I use Figma for thumbnails? I don't know how to crop yet. I'll learn it. But think that thing we were talking about would. What if you bought 2 of them and put them back to back?
See?
Oh
It's
my
kind of
God.
the thing. So it would be like, there's 2 together, so they're stronger because there's 2.
See? It's a coupling.
You can have multiple aisles in your arcade room.
Yeah. Okay, you can unshare.
I mean, that could be a cool way to have this be a 4-player cab.
Yeah, back to
they're,
back.
Oh.
they're so thin.
And they're online,
Linkable?
so you technically could do 4-player.
See? I mean,
All right.
that's not a concept
Next
I don't.
comes Fast and Furious Slim Edition.
Oh dear God, no.
Really
Okay,
quickly.
Are we going with Slim? That's a pretty good name.
No, it's the Arcade1Up Boys Jr.
Okay.
Kurt the Daring, thank you very much. Huge super chat, $10. I've assembled and modded enough of these now. I think I would rather mod a used cab with new side art, marquee, etc., than get a Casinocade cab with the same game. I'm in the same fence on that. I would rather pick up one of the old deluxe cabs that were actually pretty good and put new side art on that than I would, or just buy the regular NBA Jam Deluxe with 4-player deck. And then
I know, right?
pay a couple extra dollars to go get the 2-player deck that you can get already.
You're starting with a better
third-party
cabinet,
vendor.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kurt the Daring. First super chat, so you get a little bit of a video here. I'm going to find one that's not going to upset Goofyfoot too much. Got to give the people what they want. Thank you very much, Kurt the Daring. We've also got a super chat here from my buddy, our moderator, Jason Little Alien, nicest guy in the home arcade community. I do respect the opinions of tonight's panel, but don't hold it against me if I want to see what Scott the Waz has to say about it. Big arcade and Scott the Waz. Thank you for the super chat, Jason. I appreciate it. P-Dubs, what are you looking at there? What are you thinking?
Oh, I was checking out Figma. Sorry, Justin got me all hyped.
There's people in the chat that are like, it's not a photo editor, and that's fair, but it does have plugins. So you can get a plugin like remove background and so you can get into a little bit of the editing. But for content creators that are trying to compose just pictures for thumbnails, Figma's like a great tool. Like you could build a component library to be like, here's my logos, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like I just started using it for, that's the only reason I'm coming back to YouTube is so I can learn Figma.
So I'm going to try to change. I'm going to be an agent of change, and I'm going to try to change the word add-on for programs to strap-ons. I'm going to normalize strap-on as the comment.
We're making that term back, huh?
Good luck with that.
Woo. Well, this was fun.
Dubs, are you tired? You trying to get out of here?
That's when he's not having a good time.
That's how he says he's not having fun.
He's a grumpy bear. Grumpy bear.
We're just getting near my cutoff point, and but you guys can keep going. So I'm still getting over the sinus infections.
Yeah, I know. How you feeling now, by the way?
Like my medicine's wearing off. I'm starting to get all congested. So
We told everybody that the reason you couldn't make Super Game Room Dudes was you took erectile dysfunction medicine and you had
I know.
diarrhea.
I caught the replay. I caught the replay. So
Medicine's wearing off.
Oh, it's been way longer than 4 hours.
Don't use other people's prescriptions. Is all I gotta say. So, watch whose prescriptions you take.
So going back to the poll here, guys, before we go, I just want to bring this up again. So,
is Don asking that we'd make a poll of what we're gonna name this?
That's not a terrible idea.
Naming poll.
That's
I thought we
terrible
agreed
idea.
on the
We have-
Casino Jam.
I like
No?
Casino Jam.
I don't know.
All right. End this poll, Mike. Let's put a poll up and we'll
That's
come
what
up
I'm
with some
doing. So final
dumbass
results were 7% of 209 viewers say yes, they would still buy Arcade1Up cabs with this new form factor. 26% say depends on game. A staggering 62% says no, and 5% says they just wouldn't buy Arcade1Up anyways. So we're going to end the poll there, and we'll put up a new poll so you guys can decide what the community name is for the
We
new
need
Arcade1Up
people
form
in the chat right now to
Yeah, I
spam
did.
ideas.
I did. Put your suggestions in the chat. We got Casino Jam. Decadent Dave says Viagra Jam. I don't know about that. Slimcade Deluxe.
Okay.
The Slimcade Deluxe. Come
Slim
on,
K
guys.
Deluxe.
The Wiener Cake.
The Wienercade. The Limpcade. Let's see. Come on, guys,
There's
get
too
them in.
many. We're gonna have to
Skinny
trim it down
Jam,
because in the poll you
something.
can only do 4, right?
Yep. 4 is the
Yeah.
maximum.
The iArcade.
No. So what ones do we have so far? So we got Slimcade, we've got Wienercade. Anything else?
Wait. Well, I'm waiting for the
We
chat.
need more. Come on, guys. This
God,
is your
this-
chance.
Live chat, you're sucking right now. Come on.
What are they calling this?
Arcade
part-
Deluxe?
Partycade Deluxe. There you go. That's actually kind of what this thing is.
Yeah, 100%.
The loser
yeah.
game.
Loser Cade.
Oh,
I
nobody
like
wins.
that one.
The real Slim Katie.
Oh,
The real Slim Katie.
Oh,
that's good.
The what
I
the
like
fuck Cade.
The Narrowcade.
NBA Jam Youth XL.
Pencilcade.
NBA Youth XL. Sorry, I'm going to take out.
Finally.
Wait,
Youth XL.
the XL Junior.
We could just call this the WNBA.
Slim
The
Cade.
Baby Cade XL.
Yeah, there you go.
Now keep in mind, can we all agree, live chat? Whatever wins, you guys are obligated.
Yeah.
We have
In
to
this
call
day
Every
forward.
public forum, on
Absolutely.
YouTube, Discord, Facebook, anytime this product is mentioned, you have to use this name.
What are the?
That's the
what's-
commitment.
What's
we're
the
all
poll
making.
so far? What do you got, Mike?
So far with the poll, real Slim Katie is blowing this away. So far out 40.
What the hell? You took out Casino Jam? Fuck you, Mike.
Oh, that's messed up.
Slimcade Deluxe. We were going with the viewer suggestions, P-dubs. NBA Jam
That's
Youth
true.
XL.
All right, fine. We'll let
Arcade
the viewers
Deluxe.
pick it.
Party Cade Deluxe is
NBA
cool.
Jam XS. That's pretty good.
It's
Like
the
extra
Slim Cade
small.
Deluxe.
NBA Jam XS.
Real Sam.
So,
Give me the Slim Cade.
Really quickly, Nicholas Turio, $10 super chat. Random question. Did you see the Boogie2988 guy record his video for his new crypto scam? He filmed the entire promo video in front of his wall of Arcade1Ups that they sent him for free.
I didn't know that guy was still on YouTube.
He is, yeah. So I don't know, like everything's so awkward. Like we grew up and like everything was so simple. Like he just made some videos. He's like, I'm Francis. And then like meet the guy afterwards. You find out like he spent all his YouTube money on prostitutes, and then he's got this weird girlfriend relationship, and he makes weird videos. I don't know, like I don't know what to say. Like a lot of times people get famous on YouTube, and then they got to try to keep it going. They got to try to come up with new things. I haven't seen anything about this crypto scam, any of that stuff. I don't watch Boogie. I've never really watched Boogie ever.
Although, I'm interrupting you because I think I got it.
Go ahead.
The Hawk-Tuicade.
Hawk to
Spit on that thing.
Tui Cade.
Spit
You
on
gotta spit
that
on that thing.
It's
You know the worst thing about this cab, though? It's going to
What's
ruin
that?
the tour.
It's absolutely going to ruin the tour.
It's going to ruin the
Yeah.
tour.
It's over. I'm looking at the box, guys, and they're just calling this. They're just calling it the deluxe. This is the new deluxe moving forward. This is it.
Looks
This isn't
like,
an
yeah.
addition.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Thank you,
Player
Nicholas.
Deluxe.
This is it. And it sucks.
Yeah,
Did you know Nicholas has 82,000 subscribers?
he's a big. He's kind of a big deal.
Good stuff.
Gotta get him to that plaque.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Oh, he could get
pushing.
there if he wanted. Here's the funny thing: Nicholas is like a rocket ship, and then just stopped doing it. Then he's like, I got to start my channel up again. I need more pinball money. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
He's a professional YouTuber, like the opposite of me. They sent Boogie those cabs right in the beginning. Like Boogie got every single one of those cabs for free, and then never ever bought one after they stopped sending them to him.
At games too, right?
Yeah, At Game sent him the Legends Ultimate, I think, or the
Yeah,
Pinball. I can't remember.
the first Legends also.
So I've never actually watched him. I've only seen that documentary you were talking about, Michael B, like that where they talked about him blowing all his money and that girlfriend of his. Did he do like gaming stuff, or I thought he was just like a lifestyle guy.
Personality. Yeah.
I don't know. He did Francis is the only thing I know. He did
Yeah,
something
I
of
only
character.
remember that. Like long time ago, right? Like 15 years ago, he was one of those big YouTubers that just he blew up because he would do. I remember a video he did where it was all about him in an apartment, like with his friends, because I think he was like in his 20s, right, when he was doing YouTube, early 20s or something, like like college stuff. And it was him like drinking orange soda. Or, do you remember that stuff? But he was like the Francis guy.
Yeah. So I don't watch garbage.
No, but this
I'm
is
just
back
not
when there was
interested.
only 5 channels on YouTube.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
YouTube royalty.
Last call for votes. Last call for votes.
Yeah, so I just never watched it. His NBA Jam Burger Time review, I remember that because like they sent out a few of those Burger Times. Like I think Cool Toy got one, Retro Ralph got one, and then they sent one out to Boogie. And so like the other two did reviews, and Boogie did this weird thing where he just had the cab there, and he was like, "Me and my friends are gonna do a burger mukbang," and I was like, "The fuck am I watching? Why am I watching this?"
Arcade1Up has always had that weird fascination with celebrity people. It's strange.
Yeah.
Like they were touting that Kevin Hart video from a week ago where his entourage ends up smashing the Arcade1Ups.
Wow.
All right, so guys, 5 minutes have gone by. Dubs, you want to call it 69 votes?
Perfect number.
Yeah,
Pull
end poll.
Pull it.
69 votes.
There we go. 69 votes. I love it.
And the winner
Wheels.
is the real Slim Katie.
That's so good.
It's just, I do want to say this, and I do want to put this apart. I guess everybody's different, and everybody have different views. I'm noticing the way Arcade1Up's going, and if this is the new form factor and this direction continues they're going in, it's just I have a hard time following. I'm not saying that Arcade1Up's in trouble or that the company is bad or anything like that. It's just not doing what I want it to do. So,
Like you've been looking for an escape clause for a few weeks now, and now
This is
you
it,
found
buddy.
it. Now you found it. You're
Yeah.
not pulling the wool over my eyes, Mike. We know. What you're
I'm literally telling you the truth. Like I'm not in a position like I see all these other people being like,
an arcade.
I'm selling all of them now.
You know what's going to happen?
My daughter
Is-
needs a playroom again.
Yeah, he's going to get rid of the 1-ups he has, and he's going to buy all these. Like 3 months from now, I got my arcade back, boys. It's going to happen, Mike.
I really don't like P-Dubs and Justin right now. I will remember this.
What did I do?
Well, all right. Well, Mike, if you're out, you're out. But I have a feeling you'll get pulled back in because I know you.
Just when I'm out. No,
They
but
pull you
here's
back
the
in.
thing. Here's the thing. What I'm saying is if they continue, I probably won't do it. But if this is a one-off, that's fine. But like I'm just being honest. This is not what I'm interested in. So I'm not one of these guys being like, I'm going to sell off all my cabs because I hate Arcade1Up now. I still like what I have. I really like what I have. I would like to have more.
What if you didn't have an NBA Jam though, and this
Oh,
was
right.
the only thing available? Maybe you would buy this one.
No.
Why?
Because I had the other
Is it
NBA
Casinocade,
jams
that's
before.
lame.
The Slim Katie?
I had the other NBA jams before, which I know are better. Why would I buy an inferior version now?
So today Michael B's out, but in a couple weeks he's going to be back in with the Golden Combat XL.
See, but here's the thing.
Ooh.
I'm not saying I won't buy home arcades because New Wave Toys comes out with their cab and it's really good. Obviously, I'll still buy that. But this has gone in a different direction. What I'm saying is not that complicated here. I think you guys are just fucking with me, but
Yeah.
like,
No,
What if
Mike.
what if this is a combination of form factor? What if they're consolidating so that they can actually bring us XL cabinets?
Mike, what if
No, they're not.
purchasing this machine would lead them to get the development money needed to release the Robotron that you're looking for?
In Excel.
I've never
And
never
XL
heard that
Robotron.
theory
And
before.
what if, Mike, what if they hit the budget sheet and they're like, damn, we fell $600 short in Canada of making this happen. If only one more guy had
only
bought that
only
NBA
one
Jam
more
Deluxe.
cabinet.
If
here's the
on that
problem with your
goddamn
theory.
island.
Here's the problem with your theory. You think Arcade1Up does budgeting.
Obviously, that's not.
Yeah, I was going to say, if
Not a
you
thing for them.
extrapolate
All right.
those financials, they did $100 million last year, or close to it, right? If
Well,
that's not enough to get you a Robotron,
This
what
was
is?
fun.
I'm starting to think the Robotron's not going to happen.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm with James on it. I think it's all about Arcade1Up's salespeople talk to Best Buy, and there's a conversation, and in there they're like, we would love to buy even more on the next order, but our cap is 13 something, I don't know, whatever, $130,000 is our cap. And they're like, oh, if we made the machine thinner, would you buy 10,000? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. They don't care about us. They never did. It's always about how get those contracts,
To
those
retailers.
$10 million
100%.
contracts with Best Buy. And that pulled the trigger. That got the sale. This stupid Slim Shady version.
There
That's
you
what
go.
happened.
Everything's terrible.
Pretty much, yep.
Everything's
Infinity
terrible.
Game Table will be the premier product, and this is just like a side thing, a side venture.
I don't know. It's just disappointing to see what could be. What this should have been a good day. Let's be honest with us. Community feedback resulted in a 2-player NBA Jam cab. Even if we didn't want it, it could have been a good thing for the community. It could have been great. Why'd they go the extra step of doing
It
this?
reminds me. This is exactly what they did. Bear with me with the Countercade. You had Countercades with bad little monitors and single player. Then they went up to the oh my god, it's a 2-player with a beautiful little 8-inch high resolution screen and lit marquees, and then what was the last iteration? Single player Mortal Kombat with no lit marquee. Still had a good screen, but it was a single player, and they took out all the functionality. And then now we have nothing. No
Yeah.
more Countercades. So is this the trend of the 3/4? I don't know. This
It's
could be
when
the
they get
final
something
iteration.
good, they go
I
back.
don't know. I'm gonna take this as a one-off, and I'm gonna see the direction
not.
these guys going forward.
Yeah, this is
You don't
the
think?
great.
It's
This is
over.
this is the great value NBA Jam Deluxe.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, this is the
is the-
AliExpress NBA.
This is
Jam.
the way it's going to go. Yeah.
This is the Safeway Select NBA Jam.
Did I miss a super chat from Jason? I'm trying to see here. I got one showing up, but I can't see it.
A fool and his money quickly departed.
Hold on here now.
Well,
Guys,
Mike, how much longer are you going to go for real? Keep going. You don't have to stop the show because of me, but I got
P-Dubs, yeah, we're gonna be done soon, but I need to get your negativity out of here. You're bringing me down, man. You're fucking
Hey,
up my aura.
I just want to point out, I am the only person that said something positive about this product.
I
That's
said
a
it was
good point.
positive.
I said it
the
was. I
two-player
said it
control
was
deck.
very nice that they're doing 2-player decks, but you know,
Mhm.
and then they
Everybody
fucked-
said that.
messed them up.
Literally
Yeah,
everybody.
I said it first.
You said it first. My video was out before you. And P-Dubs has a new intro for his videos. And with you, as always, is P-Dubs, your leader in home arcade.
Got him.
Hey, I didn't pick the name. These names are given to me. Let's see here. They invented Mare, Mare, Walrus, Leader. So now I'm just gonna run with them. They keep
Well, who
giving me
calls
names.
you a leader? Because I know who called you the other ones, but I didn't.
The same assholes that called me the other one. It's hilarious.
Oh, there's
So
a new,
you know what?
there's a new name going around now that I haven't told you about yet.
What is it?
They call you Windsock Foreskin. Apparently, you've got a lot of foreskin. It's like a windsock on the front.
Now we're just gonna run with it. All right, I'm gonna go take some more sinus medication. I'll talk to you guys
Feel
later.
better,
Thanks for
bro.
having me on.
Feel better.
Thanks for having fun tonight. Thanks for everyone being a good sport in the live chat. We'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
$2 super chat from my buddy Garage Gamer. $1.99. Mike, cheer up. Thank you, Garage Gamer. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. So, yeah. Is this, just really quickly before we end things, is this the future or is this a one-off? What do you guys think?
It's the future. This is the way it's going.
What if this sells terribly?
Well, I think they're close to abandoning the product. I'm just being honest with you.
That's your
theory.
If
I'm just saying, if we look at the limited amount of information we have, Infinity Game Table is what they love. Look at their marketing material. They're focusing on Pac-Man in all of its iterations and the Infinity Game Table. I mean, good God, how many short videos do we have to have of the freaking Collectorcade? You know, which is just the dumbest thing ever. But they keep leaning on that. I don't know. It wouldn't be my focus, but they just have a different focus. And if you look at the branding of this box, it doesn't denote this in any kind of special, unique way. This is just the new deluxe that's coming out. I think this is the way this is what we can expect to see moving forward. And if it doesn't sell well, I think they'll just continue to put very little effort into it until, it's all gone.
James, you agree?
I actually think it's going to sell well. I don't think it's going to sell well to this community, but I think they're going to get enough people that aren't familiar with it that want NBA Jam and buy this thing and regret it once they get it home. But I actually think it's probably going to sell pretty well based on, again, their sales numbers are crazy high. So people are buying this stuff.
Their sales numbers are, I question that because you talk about it like it's end sale numbers.
Well, it's gross sales.
Arcade,
sales.
No. But end sale numbers to the end consumer. Arcade1Up doesn't sell to the end consumer.
Well,
Arcade1Up doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, but that's the right. Well, exactly. And so
Arcade1Up sells to the retailers.
To buy it.
Sure.
They've already got stores to buy it. It's already done.
Yeah, but those sales numbers that we're talking about are not what we pay. They're what the retailers pay. So they're even high then. Right. And then James, you were breaking it down. You were like, some of the money was deducted, or lowered. And it was because, they had to give money back to, who was it? The Kokum. Because Kokum is all like, hey, we didn't sell out of them. Some got returned.
Yeah,
and the numbers are still huge.
Yeah, they have buyback agreements.
Right.
So you keep bringing up the court case, Justin. What's your take on the court case? I do want to go into that because you weren't with us last night. So you looking at the information, I think you're going to play heavily on the heart, and you're like, Jerry's a nice guy, and I think he's entitled to something.
In the arms of the
man that just
so I met
with a handshake.
I met Jerry, and Jerry was an interesting guy. So at CES 2020, he was there along with Mike, who is a really nice guy. He helped design the Gen 3 UI, which was really nice. He worked on that. Mike's a really funny guy. So I met people at Thinkup, and when I talked to Jerry, I thought he was just hired help, because they do a lot of hired help at the CES show. And I was like, oh, so do you live nearby? And Arcade1Up asked you to come. I guess what I would say was pretty demeaning, I guess, because he goes, I'm the president of Thinkup. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm okay. And he goes, I created all of this. I'm like, okay, Jerry. All right.
Sure, fella.
Walk you home, Grandma, that meme. And no, he was the creator of an original designer of everything that we've purchased. And as we've got to understand that company, he's the founder. Yeah. And I remember him explaining, he said, look, Arcade, and what they said at the time, Arcade1Up is not a company. It's a brand. And Arcade1Up brand was invented by Thinkup. and he was explaining that this is our product.
Yeah, and you know what?
Reading what James was saying, I was like, yeah, that's why he's suing him, because he's like, this was my idea, guys.
Yep.
Well, no, actually, it was Namco and Walmart's idea.
Well,
He just
there's all these lies, right? And what I'm trying to say is there's all these stories. I don't know what it is, because if you go listen to Scott Baccarat, he says he got the idea
from Walmart and Namco.
No, that's not what he said. He was standing in the checkout line of some store and saw a competitor product and was like, what, it was like a console that it was an Atkins or something like that, or
probably a My
Arcade or something. And he was like, what if we made that 3/4 scale or whatever? And he made it sound like this was his idea, and he went to the design team and they did the styrofoam. But you go talk to Jerry, and his story is more like, I presented to Scott this idea. And then you go talk to other people in the industry, and they're like, Walmart came up with the idea and presented it. And to be fair, the Walmart story, we know who that came from. It came from a competitor of Arcade1Up. So is everyone just telling stories? Like, what is
I don't know. I don't know what to believe. At one point, there was this guy, this YouTuber, Console Kits, and he's like, I created the whole home arcade community. It's all because of me, and everybody is just leeching off my greatness.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. At least on that we can agree.
That's right.
So this is a funny point. $4.99 from my buddy Goofyfoot, fellow Patty Smith fan. It's a good thing when all it takes is a turd to bring you guys back together. Hey,
this is the same thing as happening in the Star Wars. Have anyone watching
the Acolyte?
Yeah. But if you go listen to the Star Wars YouTubers, they're like, this turd show is bringing us all together.
It's united everyone.
There's like this positivity that everyone hates the show, and it's like bringing all this, like, yeah, we all hate it together.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we all are in agreement. We do not like the new form factor. We're not fans.
No, I don't like it at all.
About it.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I think maybe if they had done a different game or just something that we haven't seen in a while, it might be more appealing. But to me, they've just done NBA Jam to death, and
a shooter maybe would make sense.
It'd be like if a new company stepped up. It'd be like a new company stepped up, and they wanted to really be an alternative and provide us something cool, and they just ended up making a Golden Tee.
Yeah. And they let us believe all year it was going to be
this whole time.
Our buddy RGT85 just getting home from too many games. He knows. Ask
I just saw Sean rocking the GRS shotgun out at too many games.
Sean knows what time it is.
He came in just to give a better name than the
coming in late.
Yeah, he's on his way to jail, from what I hear. So he's in between here.
Yeah, nice to see you, Sean. Hope you had fun at too many games. Our buddy Glenn Planamento was there. I think Brooklyn Menace was there too. Kev Gret, and also who else from the community was there? Ichabod Crane, I think. That's the pictures I saw from Brooklyn Menace. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody else was there. Let us know in the chat. So yeah. Anyways, very cool. Too many games. It's great to see people get together like that from the community and stuff, and just go out and enjoy these conventions and stuff. Yeah, he says he met up with Glenn there. Nice. Glenn showed him his shotgun. Good times.
And then he showed him his controller.
All right.
Jamie Loken, I'm the Hitman. I can't wait to see Peter Pepper on the new Burger Time Casinocade. You know what's funny? Jamie Loken wrote me earlier today, and he was like, why does the new NBA Jam Deluxe look funny? And I was like, watch my video. So he writes me back like an hour and a half later. He's like, oh my God, it's a Casinocade. And I was like, right.
I've seen this before.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I don't want to pass it on. It's just, if this is what I was trying to say before, P-Dubs and Justin tried to shame me. Yeah. So anyways, what happened? Hey, Scarlett, come in. 1 second, guys. What?
You know, I think what this does do, it makes me want to go buy a 4-player deluxe, actually. So, they'll sell more 4-player deluxes with this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
They're sneaky. They're sly.
Yeah, now there's only 3 NBA jams at the market at the same time.
It's just such a shame. I know.
That
So
is.
we have so limited selections. It's ridiculous.
So, guys, clean up your language for a second. My daughter's coming in. Scarlett,
As if
come
we're
in.
foul mouthed.
Would
Yeah, I know.
she buy the
Scarlett, I'm
Shady
going to show
Cake?
you a picture here now.
Yeah.
What-
We tell
what
her
do you
that
think
we
of this
want
new
her
NBA
honest
Jam?
reaction. Don't feed her any lines like last time.
What do you think of this new NBA Jam with this foot pedal there for
You
stability?
just gave her the.
A negative.
Yeah, that's right. It's a negative, guys. Scarlett's right.
Good job.
Thumbs up, Scarlett.
There you go.
They should hire her right now to be a designer.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the question. That's the question I want to ask. Who did they ask about this? Did they ask anybody? Did they have any kind of like, like if you're coming out with a new version of a product, wouldn't you ask like some kind of sample group or something like that?
Maybe a focus group.
Yeah,
or some
something.
marketing
Do
research.
something.
If only there were YouTube channels dedicated to this topic. So weird.
Or if they
Like-
had somebody that understood basic product development and marketing.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't know.
What
about
if
just
thanks,
there's no
Peter.
one there in the company to ask the question?
Or there's no one there that cares to ask the question.
Yeah, sometimes businesses make really bad mistakes. Like, say, for example, I run a company that created this great product that went on to make billions of dollars, and I just never signed a contract. Sometimes
handshakes are
businesses
fine.
make mistakes.
So did you see the thing that they released this evening, the Amazon Beyond virtual game room that they
No.
dropped on TikTok? So it's some
No.
3D virtual space that you can go in. It has the new NBA Jam in there. It's got Golden Tee Deluxe and a couple other cabs in there, and you can of course buy them and stuff like that. So they spend all their time making these TikTok reels and these gimmicks like this that aren't going to sell or do anything for them.
Justin auditioned for TikTok the other day.
I should just post that video so people actually have the context.
So
anyway, I send silly videos to these guys. That's all.
So I got to show you this too. Honestly, unfortunately, Arcade1Up's not getting good names around the community here right now. Recently, there was this wrestling program on. You guys probably aren't big wrestling fans. I don't know. You're a far right nut, so you might like Wrestling 19K Fox.
Yes, that is an accurate description of me.
Anyways, this guy Vince Russo was on this show called Who Killed WCW, and in the background, like he's there getting on with stuff. He's like, "Bro, I'm gonna tell you, bro," and all you can see in the background is he's got a lineup of Arcade1Up cabs, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be associated with something this asshole's associated with. Anyways, I don't want to belabor it much than that. I'm hoping this is a one-off because I think this is a big mistake, and if it's not, I mean, I just can't see a way I would be interested in buying future Arcade1Ups in this form factor. That's the truth. And that's what I said earlier. Like, if this is the form factor going forward, it doesn't matter what game it is. I'm not interested in buying something. I have very specific wants. Not everybody does. Like you said, James, this will probably do really well for Arcade1Up. It already did. They sold it to the retailers. Might do well at retail too. But it's just, it doesn't mean it's for me. Again, I've said this a bunch of times. A lot of people in the community are like, Arcade1Up is dead. No, it's not dead. It'll probably live on and limp on forever. It's just dead to you because you're not interested anymore. And I'm starting to get to that point if this is the future.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been pretty consistent about this. You didn't get the Yoga Flame or the Shinku Hadouken because of the side art. You just didn't like the side art. It didn't fit. And this is sort of the same thing. It's too much of a departure from those what we
100%.
consider to be classic shapes. It's just not right. They've gone a little too far, and now the proof will be obviously in the pudding. Who's going to buy this? Will it sell? I think, James. I think if it does sell, you think, and I'm just curious, they've got to be making a better margin on this, right? The cost is severely slashed, right?
I was being somewhat facetious with the pint of ice cream gimmick, but I think there's a lot to say there. I think they wanted to hit that $4.99 point because that's where they're seeing sales pick up, right? When they're above it, they don't.
Yep.
So they can hit that $4.99, cut way down on shipping, cut way down on supplies. I think they make more money on this at a lower price point, and they'll think they move more. I think, again, that's assuming they actually do business analysis, but I think on the back of a napkin, they probably worked all this out in their head and said, hey, this will work for us. They just
Some kind of hand
don't
job
estimate
agreement.
the actual sales on the other end. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Like if we take the where is it? Yeah. Well, see, if you what I have pulled up is the Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe Edition is
Yes.
68 pounds.
I
And
thought I had read somewhere on another site it was 83, I think, is what I had read.
so this
It
guy
was
is
on Amazon.
supposed to be. It's
listing.
like 62 for the brand new Slim Katie.
Yeah, I looked at
I
it. It
love
was
that.
like, I believe it was 20 pounds difference on at least the one I compared it to.
Mm.
Last point I want to make. My buddy Paul Minderman's not here, but if you look at Paul comes in the comments and talks about like what Reddit wants and stuff like that. Paul Minderman. Now I keep calling him Minderman, but it's Minderman. Anyways, the big thing that everybody's been talking about is they've been talking about we want bigger cabs, we want XLs. That seems to be a pretty consistent across the core community. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for these XL cabs, new titles and XL cabs. And Arcade1Up's like, let's make them smaller. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, why don't they just go back to the classic edition if they want to make smaller, cheaper to ship options?
It's the lines are beginning to blur, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think that the lawsuit, everything we're talking about, it lends more credence to that. They just want to get completely away from
They're
Thinkup.
trying to dump all the old designs.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the peasant cabs at $2.99. You know, they got to make decent margin on that. But they're slimming down the 3/4 to the point where I think, Justin, you said it. If this was $3.99, they'd probably still make a decent, margin on this at that price point, as much as they've slashed this. So I agree with you. I have a tough time figuring out where this fits in the lineup, really, because it's really not.
What if
It's not a deluxe? They should
What
have
if
given it
this
a new
is
name.
the
They
peasant?
shouldn't have called this. Well, this probably should be, but I think this is Mike. This is the new deluxe. It says it on the box. I think this is just going to be. This is just what the new deluxe will be. I don't like it, but I think this is it.
Man, I hope we're wrong.
All right.
I do.
If you want to share my screen, I can show you something. I don't know if anyone's done that. Maybe you have. It's a very simple thing, but okay. So let me adjust the screen real quick so we can get the full effect here. Hopefully. So this is the X-Men 97. Yeah, it's just a little bit lighter. So it's that. But watch when I switch back and forth between them. They're in the exact same spot, and you can see. Look at the marquee. Put your eyes on where the X-Men 97 is, and see how like it pushes back. So the marquee doesn't come out as much. I mean, maybe that will be nice. I don't know. So they seem to get that whole thing kind of deeper into the machine, but yeah, I mean it's cut way in half, right?
Mhm.
It's just too damn thin.
What
But
do you mean too thin, too
but
high? What do
but
you mean too
here's
high?
what's interesting. So on this particular model, this one says it's 61.5 high.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that 61.5 high, and then that's the same.
Same height.
It's the same
height. The width that I think is about the same, but yeah, it's just they've just taken too much out of the depth, man. It's just not there.
Yeah. But then this just if you do that side,
The side is what.
That's hilarious.
oh man,
Just look how terrible that looks. Like,
I don't know, guys. I kind of feel like as we've gone through the night and we talked about that, well, what if this was the only machine that ever had came out? Would you have never bought a home arcade? And then why are we not interested in this particular model? Everyone in the chat has said the same thing. It's how it looks. It looks small and thin and crappy or whatever. And I agree, 100% agree. But part of me still wants to analyze it to death with the whole, why do we even have that feeling within us? Is it we know of something that's better and we feel like they've cheapened it. And so the value is not there. I don't know. There's these new Skittle things that have you guys seen there's Skittles that you can buy in a little tube?
No.
Yeah,
Like the little M&Ms that they did a while back?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Little minis.
I'm just more interested in Skittles, but
Yeah.
I've seen that at the store, and I'm like, that would be really nice to have a little plastic container for it. But you do a really quick value on it, and it's like you get less, they're smaller, and you pay more for it. And I'm like, forget that. I'm getting the
See,
the more expensive the bag.
I knew we needed nostalgia here. We don't really understand value.
Yeah,
We
value.
need nostalgia to explain the value to
He would
us.
frame this so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're getting pretty close to that 2-hour mark, guys. I think we're pretty close to wrap it up. It's just today was supposed to be a good day. Like we've been talking about this for weeks, like all this crap about Arcade1Up being in trouble and like all these things saying, and we just said all they gotta do is release a new cab and then everything will be fine, even if it's a rehash. Like just show some hope moving forward, and they did, but like just so stupidly. Like they release a new product, but like it's so sad seeing everything that's come out this year. The closest to a good product, like a really good arcade recreation, is of course is Golden Tee. It's just Golden Tee to death. And then X-Men 97, some people liked it, but again moving away from arcade recreation, and then this today, it's really frustrating. This has been a hard year for people that really like Arcade1Up, and I do. I want Arcade1Up to be good and successful, but they're just not what I want them to be, and it doesn't look like they're going to get any better than what they were. They were so close, and now it seems like they're moving backwards.
I mean, my love of the product was really sort of peaking at the XLs, right? Like, okay, XLs, okay. If they just fix the screen and they come out with a few different games, we're going to sell off. We talked about it. You talked about it, Mike. Star Wars, get rid of it because we know Star Wars XL's coming. And this was the way we were going. That didn't happen. So I sort of plateaued, and then I sort of accepted, okay, well, the deluxes aren't bad. That's probably the best that a 3/4 scale is going to be. Okay, I can deal with that. I can settle with that. Disappointed, right? But I can settle with that. And so I got 4 of them behind me, lined them up, and they're pretty cool. Now they're even cheapening that. So now you're just asking too much. We were on the XL high, and look how far we've had to come down. I'm just not interested. It's going the wrong direction. Not to mention no new games. I'm just not interested. I did a little short video. I'm not done. It would be if they change course tomorrow and come out with something better, or
right back in 100%. I'd be fine.
Sure,
yeah.
I'm always willing to see what they got. Come out with an XL, blow my mind. Hey, you got me. But I just don't. The trajectory is all wrong, and I'm just not interested at all.
So I'll also bring up this comment earlier today. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. So like other people that have left the home arcade space and went on to do different things. So I put this video up earlier, and the first comment was from Justin's old friend Ralph Ronzio. Basically, he says, "How's this news? Don't they have like 6 variants of this product already?"
Zoom in. It's like,
Hold on a second.
P-Dubs would be so pissed off. There we go.
Don't they have like 6 variants of this product already? They oversaturated the market with NBA Jam products. It just feels kind of sad to me at this point. I mean, NBA Jam is one of the most successful arcade games, but man, does anyone need another one, even with the form factor difference? I said, it's not exciting other than for people who wanted a 2-player variant. What's even more troubling to me is it looks like they're shifting the form factor to the Casinocade for the deluxe cabinets, which is a no-go for me. And then he says, honestly, dude, you have so much gaming knowledge that I don't get why you even care about this anymore. Right now seems like the best time to pivot to other gaming-related things you're interested in. Not gatekeeping, but you're actually one of the content creators in the space with just vast knowledge of other gaming-relating topics that it just seems like you're wasting your
because
talent.
all the other ones are losers.
Yeah. But like I said this before, I mean, if Arcade1Up's not doing interesting stuff, I'm probably just gonna, enjoy other things. Like this is what other people are gonna do. They're gonna spend their money on other things. We talked about this. We did a show called Changing Interests that other people, tried to weaponize and turn into something else. But it's just the truth. If Arcade1Up doesn't make something that we're interested in, we're probably not going to buy anything. Like it's just that simple, right?
With your wallet.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I think I don't know. I've been off YouTube for a while, and there's reasons behind that, but part of me wants to watch the ship sink. I'll be here. Watch the ship sink. It's going to sink. Other companies are going to come in and blow them out of the water because they got too enterprise, too corporate, too lawsuity at this point. I don't know. This probably other companies are going to come in and just be like, oh, we know what at least for us, right? The community of people that are interested in talking about arcades. There's obviously the other 99% evidently that will buy. I mean, I was thinking about it, right? James, you made a great video and you broke down that lawsuit and you were talking about sales numbers. In my opinion, I would assumed those numbers would be dismal. This was summer 2023. What were people buying in summer 2023? Evidently $70 million. And so to Ralph's comment, I agree with what he's saying for this community. And then we're all sitting here going like, why would they sell more NBA jams? This is a company that at this point, I think they would only make decisions if Best Buy is saying we can move them.
100%. Yeah.
They're like,
not
whatever
if Best
you
Buy
want,
saying
Best
we can
Buy.
move them. Not if Best Buy saying we can move them. Best Buy, will you order 10,000 of these? And they say yes. Best Buy, will you order 5,000? It's not about moving them because the end consumer has nothing to do with it. With Arcade
No, I hear what you're saying, but I'm also thinking that NBA Jam, Best Buy is ordering them because they are confident they can move them.
Right.
And we're sitting here going, they've saturated the market. We've mentioned the whole thing that there's 3 currently in the market. And we're like, they're all dumb. What if the knowledge we don't have is they're selling like hotcakes?
Exactly.
That would actually make sense. They're
Exactly.
like, put more NBA Jam options
Well,
out
this is what I've been saying all along. Just because we're not interested in the community and what they're doing doesn't mean they're dead or unsuccessful. It just means they're not going to do what we want.
Yeah. Well, I think though what we can assume from the lawsuit is, despite those giant sales numbers, they clearly are mismanaging money.
Yeah, that's also true.
You know, if they're like, we need to restructure your deal, we're restructuring our whole business, Scott has to go. And
Cyrus gets paid $6.5 million a year.
Quite possibly. But let me rain on people's parade even more. Now that we've seen those sales figures, right, close to 70 million in the first 3 quarters, you throw Q4 sales on there, you're easily at around 100 million, right? Those are the big quarters. And now, what is the hope that somebody's going to come along and buy them or make a major investment? Can you imagine you got to pay a multiple of 2-3 times annual sales? Somebody going to come in and drop $300 million to buy Arcade1Up?
I'll go back on this too, because I would, again, I have to see the contract. So I got to go back and watch your video and pay more attention to it. Maybe even read the contract itself. But I don't think it's on gross sales that they're entitled to 3%. I think
it's on net sales.
It's on your net revenue. So after expenses and everything goes the window.
Both are on that video.
So what's the net revenue?
It was 54 million net
after 54
all the
million
write-downs and everything. Yeah.
So even after the buybacks, all that stuff, it was still $54 million they made in sales.
And that wasn't fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, that was Q3.
Just Q3?
Well, up to Q3. So it was
Q3. Yeah.
Yeah, week 3 of September. So there was still another week in Q3 even.
And you showed they had bad which is interesting. They had bad sales at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then for some reason, like this information, we should talk about it more. And I'd love to hear more from you, James, on the subject. Maybe you need a short form video of it for the rest of the community to digest it. I don't know. There's all these different options to kind of get that information out there. But it's like, compare those numbers to our vantage point of the community. Like, is it like, I would love to see a comparison to like, I don't know, like even YouTube data, like look at the sales numbers and then Michael B's views. Like, I bet there's no correlation, which is to show that like, we're not their market. Like when they're doing crazy in sales, it's not because our community is talking about it. I'm starting to think that.
Yeah, I think I can give you a good example. So when I was just 100 subscribers, I posted my Nebraska Furniture Mart video. And all it was titled was, "This store's Arcade1Up display is insane." Mm-hmm. And within 2 days, it had 10,000 views. I mean, it exploded.
I bought your views, by the way. That's why.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. But so To me that said, well, there's a much larger community out there that actually has interest in Arcade1Up far beyond the people that are active on socials and stuff talking about it. That there's a massive number of people that are interested for some tiny channel to have a half-assed video that was a response to Danny and Jason discussion just blow up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, guys, this is great. Like we're saying, the data shows Arcade1Up is just going to keep making these decisions that we hate and we think are stupid, but they'll make money in spite of themselves, basically. So, yeah. But they'll mismanage it. So,
of that we can be sure.
Well, I have Cyrus's number, but like we haven't talked in forever, so I could write him and I have his email, but like we just don't talk.
He's definitely gone silent for me. Like we were trading messages and now he doesn't respond to anything.
I think you had that theory, right? Like someone said it was either you, James, or Mike, that once the lawsuit started, it seems like they ceased all communication. I remember that. Like I worked for some company where there was a lawsuit that started, and it was like you're no longer allowed to communicate about these topics, and then you got to save all your emails and stuff like that. Like you can't delete anything because it's all subject to the lawsuit. And it was like a very tight, you can't talk. I wouldn't be surprised if Arcade1Up was like, stop talking to anybody in the community because you might accidentally say something that
it's possibly that, but I do think there's a level there of, I think their community engagement last year might be my fault. I might not have been
it's your fault.
Good 100%. I mean, it should have been Justin because you were doing such a good job before. Anyways.
Wait, hold on a second. Why did you have so much sarcasm in that comment?
Because I was serious.
Mean-spirited.
Anyways, going back, I think they just looked at the reaction they've received constantly to any kind of community involvement they've done, and they've actually just said there's no return on investment here. Like, we're getting nothing out of this. We're putting all this effort into talking to the community and getting answers from them. All they do is shit on us. So I think they're done with it.
Yeah, it's a shame because they have to realize that for every bad comment they get, there's probably 100 people that watch the video.
But they fixate on the bad comments. Like I can tell you 100%. Like I've been talking to Cyrus, and he just like fixates on. He's like, "Why does Zohar don't like me?" And I was like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, who cares? Just keep trucking along. There's going to be lots of people that don't like you. People that make videos. It really doesn't matter."
Can you do your Cyrus voice again?
No, I can't.
Oh, come on.
Because why is his voice so high?
That's just my imitation. That's what I always do.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is pretty young. Maybe his balls haven't dropped.
No, but Cyrus has a very like light, pleasant voice and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Pleasant.
Yeah.
That's the word you're going to choose.
Pleasant.
Yes. He is very pleasant.
I like people with pleasant voices. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's face it, you could have told Cyrus if he released MK4, Zohar would have been his biggest fan for the rest of his life. So
that's true. It's just, I think it wears on you, especially when you're doing something that's not really your job, because there is nobody at Arcade1Up with the official title. Like, they hired Travis as an independent contractor on the outside to be like this community liaison, but there's no official spokesperson from Arcade1Up. Never really has been. Like, John D did it because he just loves YouTube and he loves like this to talk about this stuff. He loves being involved in it. That's why John D did it. And Cyrus did it because that was the history. John was usually the guy doing it. So Cyrus stepped up. Who it should have been was David McIntosh, who's, trained and has an experience in this. Has always come across very well on camera, but for some reason they don't utilize him. I don't know why, but
what? So I have a wild idea. Why do you need a spokesperson at all? Like, why don't they just have an influencer program? And here's the information. Here's your embargo date.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. That was mentioned to them. That was mentioned to them, and it was
the entire program could be called Dropbox folder.
Yeah,
that literally, and they could have wired it up to their website. This is what I told them long time ago. I was like, you need to make it where you drop all of that in a folder in Dropbox. Then go to your press release on arcade1up.com, and there's a link to that public Dropbox. That's it. That's it, literally. And then all of us content creators can be like, I got all these images from the press release button on Arcade1Up. Anyone is free to get exactly the same material. Not even like an Illuminati or whatever, like just straight up. There's a lot of
just put 'em
companies
out
that
there.
do that.
Yes,
It's just like,
I mean,
there you go.
so you have it right on the website with
Yeah.
Pinball FX. They're really, really well done. A lot of other people just send out like these, folders with media to everybody. It was mentioned Arcade1Up. It was said like, just do it. The problem was that they just can't get their heads around and get everybody to agree to do something so simple as just put the marketing materials in a Dropbox or folder for just like that was my goal. My goal was I said to him, I said, I'll even help you. You send me the stuff. I'll make sure it gets out to content creators. I'll create something. They still couldn't do it. Marketing couldn't work with whoever was doing community engagement to make this happen for some reason. It's the stupidest shit in the world and complete, like, just, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because they're short-staffed or what it is. It seems like a simple thing, but they just couldn't get it together.
Yeah, which is nuts because they're building those for the retailers, right? They're building that kit to sell it to the retailers. Just redact any pricing or anything and put the same files out.
Well, I guess
they
they
have to
assume
make anything new.
I guess they assume the files are right there on their website. Like everything's on their website. So why send the stuff out? We can just go get whatever we want anyways.
Yeah, but typically, right, you would want to get that to people early so they can produce videos. So when you're ready for that launch,
I don't even think it needs to be us. I think they had the right approach. I think they had the right approach a couple of years ago where they were actually reaching out to media sources like Gabe Gerwin and they would send information out to actual journalists, not assholes that have home arcades in their basements.
I beg to differ.
But you know what I mean?
There's nobody reading actual journalists anymore, right? So
no,
they're better off in the.
But they've never been coordinated enough to even get the releases right. I mean, it would just show up on some website somewhere, and then they would release the video, and it's like, well, we already knew.
Well, it was almost like marketing was working against anybody trying to do anything else. So, say they tried to organize a community engagement, marketing would intentionally fuck over the community engagement piece by releasing their information earlier just to prove that the community engagement didn't have any value. It's almost like there's like two sides inside Arcade1Up always constantly fighting with each other.
It's almost like there's a disruptive force.
Anyways, love the company. Hope this was a one-off mistake. Let's move forward. If it is, if this is the new form factor going forward, it is sad times for me because this is. I'll wait. I'll check it out at the Brick, and maybe it's not as bad as what it is when I try it. But I just don't have the interest. Like they're moving away from what I want them to be. It's not a bad thing. They might be completely successful, but it'll be something that I'm not on board for.
Don't worry, Golden Track and T is right around the corner.
Sweet.
So the theory on that is that Danny got the inside scoop and they created a fake story to justify it. That's the inside scoop.
No, I think his wife did some hunting down on that or whatever.
Yeah, she explained it to me. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lincoln Olympics and an artist or something. Interesting stuff.
So anyways, guys, that's the end of Arcade1Up. We're happy to announce we are now the Media 1Up Illuminati. So tune back next week when we'll start all our Media 1Up rumors and speculations about the new company and what they can do.
This was phase one, right? Like just say bad things about Arcade1Up and then say good things.
Pronounce them dead, and now we move on.
And then we slowly transition this to Fox's show now, where it's Arcade1Up bad, Unico good, John D good.
Yep.
Exactly.
And then when's Thinkup coming out with their new company?
they
tried
after the settlement.
They're not going to win anything. Yes, there is precedent of the agreement, but they signed a contract that said they could be terminated at any point. Their basically only argument is we were too dumb to understand what the contract said. We did not have equal bargaining power because of our intelligence. That's literally their only argument.
Yeah.
That's worked for some people.
Yeah, that was sad that they the handshake, the friend, like you said, James. It was I follow what's his name? Jerry.
Yeah.
Yep.
On LinkedIn, and it was a sad post when it was like what 3-4 months ago. He was like,
we
"It's
let everybody go.
It's
off
life,
everybody."
life work. You have to, and letting go all those people that you know their livelihood depends on you. It sucks.
Which is why you got to be more savvy than that. We
Yeah.
have people
You have
relying
a
on
responsibility to the
Yeah.
people that work for you. Make sure you're protecting them as much as you're protecting yourself.
Oh, he took care of his family. They're good.
you. Yeah, they're good. Everybody else sucks.
Yeah, I was curious
They're
about that. I
homeless.
wonder if
They're
it's
working
just
for
like
free. I guarantee it. You know,
yeah. I wonder if it's like it's his wife, and he's like,
Yeah,
"I laid
I
off
don't know.
everyone."
Yeah.
Well,
It's
technically
easier.
my wife's still here.
It's easier to make jokes than deal with the hard reality. Like I really feel bad for Thinkup. We were talking about the contract and shit last night. Like, I wish this didn't happen. I wish that Thinkup were treated fair and equitably, but they got an uphill battle in that court case because of the way they did business with Disruptive and Scott Backrack over the years. They've got precedent, and they better hope they have a lenient judge that sees that precedent and feels that supersedes what the contract laid out for them. So,
yeah, I'm surprised a lawyer advised them to go that route versus trademark and copyright infringement, things like that, for their intellectual property more than anything. But who knows if there's another agreement that controls that wasn't brought up, and that's why they didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Right.
279 super chat, John D. Kenobi, you're our only hope. We know Fox feels that way.
That's right.
All right. Well, anyways, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer than that. I've gone officially an hour longer than I intended. I feel like I'm just trying to get this out. And like, I've really struggled with this today because you guys know, this is not a thing for me. I really like Arcade1Up. I like what they make, and I wanted to see good things happen. And this was a bit of a disappointing day for me. Like, this new form factor really spits in the eye of what I want them to be. So
I like what Arcade1Up used to make. I don't
Yeah.
I don't even think I like the company now just because of the decisions that they're making. Still open for something cool, hoping they can make a change, but just like I said, for me, the trajectory is just going downhill, guys.
Yeah, and the thing that really upsets me is that they made a really bad choice, and now everything is really going downhill.
that's when they didn't have you produce
Hey,
the
we
live
should
show
start-
anymore.
We should start over. James, what do you think?
The downhill slide.
Are we going to do this for another hour? We're going to just wind
Well,
down
let's talk about the
show for
Unico
another
Nova
hour.
Blast now. That thing is absolutely
Ooh,
beautiful, man. I'm
that's
really happy with that.
That looks really good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Fox. Like, obviously, I'm waiting to, see what's what. I'm not going to pre-order one, but I am
Right.
very interested. Always have been. So I'm looking forward to seeing your review. I think, Rich, who else is? I think
I'm
Cool
not getting
Play.
one. I don't know what you're.
Okay, well, anyways,
How many games does it come with?
zero
Zero.
games.
Oh,
Zero
okay.
games.
Yeah.
None.
I'm just playing.
Yeah. How many games does a pinball machine come with?
One.
Well, it depends. Like, there's the primary game, right? And then there's a video mode that sometimes you can access, and then sometimes they added little different games. Actually, have you played the Avengers game? There's this special mode
Infinity
you can go
Gauntlet?
to. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Infinity. What is it? Infinity War?
Infinity
Avengers?
Quest.
Infinity Quest? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean it's almost like infinite amount of games. And you can take this path, you can take that path. I'm going to go
Tons of
down this path.
value.
Now I'm going to go down path. Like, how many games do you want?
Do you know why Justin actually has his background blurred out? Is because he actually has a what's the name of the cab by American Galactic Tank Force pinball there. He
I
doesn't
don't want anyone to know. That
Doesn't want any of the pinball influencers
super
to know.
embarrassed.
What shame.
You got that new Princess Bride /
No.
No, he's
Weird Al.
the stern guy, but that Galactic Tank Force is misunderstood. That's actually a really good game. I really, really like Galactic Tank Force. Are you going to keep it, Justin, or are you going to sell it?
I don't know. I mean, are you going to keep all of your arcades forever? Or are you going to sell them?
Right now, I'm going to keep them. I've kept all my XLs. I brought back in from the Deluxe what I was interested in, brought back in what I could get that I was interested in. I would love to find a Star Wars or a Tron. definitely not looking forward to what they make of a Star Wars Deluxe or a Tron
my
Deluxe
God,
in this new
imagine.
form factor.
Oh.
You mentioned the Tron.
Hold on. You said this earlier, and I was kind of into it. Like, if they did, there's certain cabinets that I think they could do in this form factor, the Casinocade form factor, that could be interesting. So, James, did you say, or maybe
Yeah,
it
like
was
gun
Vito's,
games.
a gun game like that?
Yes.
Wait, why can that work? Like
That
when
could
you guys
work.
said, I was like, that could work.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. I think when James said that, I was like, well, it makes sense. You're not going to be jamming on a thing. There's no joystick buttons. You're standing back shooting. I mean, that would work. I mean, it's kind of like the dart boards, how the dart boards are very slim. They're pushed up against the wall. That could potentially
I'm
work.
so curious why I immediately, and then the other one was if they did a Return of the Jedi cabinet.
Mhm.
It's like the Return of the Jedi cabinet is slim. That's kind of its thing.
It's the 720 cab.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's got like
It
an
is.
hourglass shape,
Yeah.
right? In the
So,
middle, it's thinner.
Lincoln Hawk. Lincoln Hawk says from over the top, got to keep him for the background. I don't see any Arcade1Up in my background. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and your background's going to change, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, very soon, because I'm going to mod my iArcade. I don't know if I'm going to keep it up here, but my Legends Pinball is going to be sold. So I can go to Chicago and hang out with some really fun guys.
Who are they?
Boop, 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 boop. Anyways, this is just getting silly now. Love
Okay.
you all. Thank you so much for being here. Justin,
having
you're
us,
the
buddy.
best. I'm so glad that you're back on YouTube. Made me really happy today to see your video. Surprised me. And I like
Just
your new
started
style.
today.
Thank you. I'm going
Really
with
good-
this green screen, but I have to let everyone know this is a green screen.
Show 'em.
Except
Show
for
'em.
it's
Show 'em.
real.
It's
Yeah.
real.
I'm never gonna fake green screen because the background will always be real.
Do the move. Do the
background
move.
is
Do it.
always
Do
real.
the magic.
Okay, watch this.
Do the magic.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh my god.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Do it. Do it.
Okay,
What-
okay.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Watch this. Inception.
What?
It's Inception. He's in the background.
It's a dream within a dream.
It's a dream within a dream.
In the top.
No, I'm excited. I'm going to do only reaction videos from now on. And I need permission from content creators. I only got permission from one so far. So if anyone wants to give permission to react to one of your videos, I'm going to do
You can react to all of
5-hour
them.
live streams where I break down what someone says and then edit it later for an upload. There you go. I'm going to take down my live streams. I'm going to destroy all of your algorithms, by the way, because I'm gonna go live for several hours, record everything,
Yeah,
and then immediately take the video down and turn it into 20 videos.
perfect.
And then I'm gonna make it's like so my channel will like unbalance the community because it's like, well, this dude makes live streams but always takes them down, so it gets very few views, and so it'll make it where this community's live views will start plummeting. So that's my goal.
I'm glad Justin's
It's
back.
pretty
I'm
exciting. I'm gonna see if I
You
can
did say you were glad that he was
completely-
back, right?
I'm so glad that Justin's back, because I'm glad that those two lesbian women and their midichlorians came together to create Justin coming back to the community.
No, it's gonna be great.
That
It's gonna
explains it.
force the whole community to start editing.
Force, there it is again.
Editing
Ah,
again.
whoop.
You have to edit videos to get the views.
You have to edit videos to get the views.
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't have time for that, man. I got a
Well,
2-year-old son.
you better start figuring out ways to edit videos because the live stream numbers are about to come down.
I actually figured out in the last couple weeks really how to streamline my process. So like I've saved like 60% of my time now. I'm like gunning it. I found out that I was doing all this extra work I don't got to do. Oh man, my wife was like, I thought you had to edit a video. I was like, no baby, I found shortcuts. We got a $2 super chat from Kevin Clausen. Justin, did you ban 19K Fox from your channel? And he didn't add it. # ban 19K Fox.
Yeah. Thanks,
What-
guys. Let's start that one.
Did I accidentally ban you, 19K Fox?
No,
Years
this
ago.
No,
is
you
this
commented
is
on my
Kevin
video
Clausen's
earlier
thing.
today.
Evan's on a mission.
I thought
Yeah,
you
give
were
the
always-
people what they want.
I thought it was always about Goofyfoot when he said his "Did you ban Goofyfoot?"
No, Goofyfoot was supposedly banned from my channel, which I think P-Dubs did, and then blamed me for it because
That's where the joke
P-Dubs has
started, right?
administrator access to my channel.
Okay, got it. But that's where it originated, right? It's
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. Today was bad. Hopefully tomorrow's better. And yeah, I'm a sad panda.
Come on, buddy. It'll be okay. We'll always have pairs in Chicago.
Well, anyways, it just reaffirms my belief that
he's
my
gonna
God,
say goodbye for the third hour.
just reaffirms my belief that I really hope that
This
either
guy
Arcade
doesn't know
1Up
how to end a stream.
Is
Oh,
this
I-
the cab you're going to buy in Chicago and put together and play?
That's a good idea. This is it.
No.
Yeah.
no.
He said no.
Like before Blitz, it was excited. We were excited about it because like it was new and exciting, and then Pac-Man XL because like it was dope. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
they
call
took
B.
the one cab nobody wanted, and they made it like desirable by putting in the XL form factor. And I kept saying this to Arcade1Up. I was like, this whole community hates Pac-Man, gets mad whenever you release a Pac-Man. You figured out the clue to releasing a Pac-Man that makes people happy in the XL form factor. Rights Retrocade, $6.99 super chat. Always appreciate it, my man. Great vid. Have a great night. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. We'll go 3 hours if I don't stop myself because I just generally love being here. Thank you very much. James Hates Everything, my far right gun nut 19K Fox friend, and
me.
Justin. See you guys.
Thanks.
Later.
Take it easy.
Oh, wait a minute. I tried to this new stuff.
He actually came.